Background to the Attlee-Truman discussions, 1 million people cram New York Central Park to hear the president outline America's stand on atomic power.
There has been talk about the atomic bomb. We must find the answer to the problems created by the release of atomic energy. Indeed, the highest hope of the American people is that world cooperation for peace will soon reach such a state of perfection that atomic methods of destruction can be definitely and effectively outlawed forever.
Осталось 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Теперь все специфически обчайшим.
Far beyond normal shipping routes they lie, and until 1952, only pearl fishing boats entered the blue waters and left the cliffs surrounding their shores.
Censored by the French authorities, but this picture is impressive evidence of the bomb.
Demonstrates the great results of the cooperation of education with research. This is another victory.
Emergency alert system capabilities.
This is an emergency action notification.
National Alert and Warning Authorities, in coordination with emergency alert system participants.
My fellow Americans, as you know, our attempts at preventing nuclear war have failed.
Finally, Mars has accepted my sacrifices and unleashes me.
I see you, enemy. I see you, enemy. Enemy! Enemy! You are my enemy! And I swear total resistance to you with everything I've got. Disingenuous, fake, false, broke back, twisted, a defiler, a betrayer, a backstabber, a devil! You will pay. Yeah, you think I don't see your face, scum? You don't think I don't see you? I see you. You understand me? I know what you think of me and my family. I see you right back. You understand that? You understand that? You will fall. You will not bring humanity down. God is going to destroy you. Yo. First stream back. Alright, well, I don't have a lot of time, so I'm just gonna jump into some stuff. I'm gonna be doing some homework, some school stuff. So let's just do that. Sunday, present Sunday. The thumbnail for this was fucking awesome. Oh my god. Let me see. Hold on. Your favorite streamer is a sex abuser. Let me see.
Look at that thumbnail. That's amazing. This one right here. That's a great thumbnail. That's Thumbnail of the Year award. Right there. Hands down. Hands down.
There's some sensitive stuff happening. He leaked something to the tune of like 15 or 20 homemade porn videos to some foot fetish e-girl, and either through her or through somebody else, they got leaked yesterday. Whole lot of people who almost certainly did not consent to having this stuff out there are now potentially getting pretty hurt publicly. So you've got a whole lot of people who are sweeping for this. This stuff is traveling far and wide. Nothing can be done to stop it, and it's this fucker's fault. If you value your dignity and your public image, do not go near this man. Jesus H. Christ, do not go near this man. Avoid like the plague, because it is a plague.
Sometimes great.
You know what? Fuck it. Let's do the fun stuff first, okay? Life's too short. This is from today.
Obviously, I'm not going to do a whole deep intro or whatever on all this. I will say that I think a friend of mine's account from that I talked to like 3 or 4 years ago ended up getting compromised, and you know.
Why do people film themselves doing this shit? Like, what element of enjoyment does anybody get out of it, man? Just do whatever you want. Just don't fucking film it, man. Keep it to your fucking self.
Sometimes you just gotta roll with the memes.
He leaked something to the tune of like 15 or 20 homemade porn videos to some foot fetish e-girl, and either through her or through somebody else, they got leaked yesterday. I'm hoping they are removed by now. But a whole lot of people who almost certainly did not consent to having this stuff out there are now potentially getting pretty hurt publicly because of this fucking moron. Just imagine the stupidity. It's remarkable. It is actually remarkable. No, none of this is none of these were Nick. Nick Fuentes was not caught in this. Damn shame. It would have been hilarious, but no. I really have no comments on this except let's just say this is a bad one. Look, some people enjoy filming themselves doing things. Okay, part of the experience for them. But these are
pre-watched. No, I have not seen this.
Things you should only do with people you trust, and what has been proved beyond the shadow of the doubt is do not trust this worm. I say worm in a very anatomical way. Man is a freak. Man is an absolute freak. Freak loser. What a fucking loser. What kind of fucking loser is so desperate that they'll go into some random e-girl's DMs and go, hey, look at all these people. Like, fucking nasty, man. Fucking nasty. Here's what we do know. Every single person in this guy's friend circle, just so you know, Steven, just every single person who knows you thinks you're a fucking loser. Just so you know. They're nice to you because they get money from this incredibly brain-damaged audience that you cultivated. But they're all repelled. Everyone on this planet is repelled. Although I shouldn't say that perhaps because I have a feeling he kind of gets off on it. My anger towards the behavior of a lot of these individuals has shifted rapidly over the last couple of days. I think these people are very poorly socially adjusted, very vulnerable, economically and socially, depending on who you're talking about, very stupid, and I think a lot of them are severely mentally ill. And Destiny very specifically targets women who are in a position of extreme emotional and mental vulnerability because it is very easy to have power over those people. And fundamentally, I think that's what all of this in the end is about. I think, and continues what I was talking about the other day, I think we have a very serious problem, not a political problem, but a social problem, where we have people like this with a tremendous amount of influence over young viewers in economic circumstances in which people have a direct financial incentive to make people like this like them. We have people who are being put into extremely vulnerable positions and are then in danger of very serious social repercussions if they displease the people they're associated with. And the good case in point is Destiny's ex-wife, Melina. When he announced that Melina was separating from him, he made a point of going live. Well, this was when he was live. When he announced this on stream, I remember because I was playing Sekiro at the time. He was very particular to point out that he had dirt on Melina if she decided to say anything publicly about him. What I can say is that a significant number of these leaked materials involved his ex-wife. This is very bad. This is very bad. I don't know. How do you deal with stuff like this? Like, this is fucking unreal. Like, whoever leaked these videos is a psychopath. Like, genuinely, just a broken, vile person. But Stephen had to leak them first. Stephen had to leak them first. Basic breach of trust for all those people. And they don't deserve what other people are going to make use of those for, because they will. There are a lot of people who are very excited, not just that Destiny embarrassed himself and showed himself to be an untrustworthy loser freak, but who really want to hate the women who have associated in his circles. And I'm sorry, they don't deserve it. Nobody in any of that leaked stuff deserves the treatment they're going to get. Steven does, in my humble opinion, very much so. The rest of them, no, but they will. It doesn't matter. And we have a problem where there are hordes of people who will pile in to defend this behavior. What's the running narrative? Oh, you mean Destiny's gay? Why are you all shaming Destiny for being gay? That's what people are reading this as. Because here's again, I'm gonna reiterate what I said in the previous segment when I was covering this. What people do in their bedroom, none of my business. None of your business, not anyone's business. As long as it's between consenting adults, and that's crucial. Now, consent matters at different levels, right? Obviously, if you're in an intimate situation with someone, having their consent, critical. Otherwise, that is a crime. Very important. But consent is needed for other elements of social interaction too. Like, for example, say you are exchanging intimate messages with somebody and you're telling them that you have certain values in an effort to convince them to be in a relationship with you of a certain sort, but you're lying. And you're not just lying, but you're also taking those messages and compromising that person's security as well at the same time without their consent, clearly. That's bad. That's really bad. That's not a matter of, and if it is indeed the case that those values involve not partaking in certain types of sex acts or having a particular attitude towards sexual relations. And it turns out that while you were telling this one person that you were perhaps, say, I don't know, experimenting with monogamy or considering like different ways of looking at stuff or things like that, well, in the meantime, you're sharing this person's very, very private and sensitive messages that could have ruined her at the time for sure. Messages that could ruin her while talking about how you actually really want to do all these things. The issue here is not that you want to do all these things. The issue here is that you were luring somebody else into a sexual relationship under false pretenses. And in fact, you were putting them into a situation that they did not consent to. That's not okay. But we have a whole lot of people who are covering for this behavior by characterizing what Destiny is doing as just revealing that he's really gay. Well, there's another angle to this, by the way, because not only is that a misrepresentation of what's going on, because the main issue is the lack of consent, not that Destiny's proclivities are icky, but also if your mental association with homosexuality is intrinsically extreme sex acts, just by itself, regardless of who it involves, you're homophobic. That's what that means, just so you know. So here's what's actually taking place. Destiny's audience and surrounding minions are essentially engaging in massive amounts of homophobia to protect someone leaking private sexual and romantic DMs and now pornography. We'll see how many people actually defend that. They are engaging in tremendous amounts of homophobia to cover up somebody leaking intimate details, damaging intimate details to whoever, to get sexual access with other people. This is really fucking gross, guys. This is really gross. So I don't know where we go from here. I mean, for myself, I just have no interest in covering these people anymore, except as like symptoms of some social illness we're all dealing with. But what this person did is basically unforgivable. And here's the primary issue. As far as I'm concerned, the Lauren Southern leaks were perfectly valid, for the simple reason that Destiny had terrorized people in his orbit, as well as his own wife, on the basis that what those leaks revealed was untrue, and had made decisions on a political public level based on those leaks being untrue, right? Had justified them on the grounds of those leaks being untrue. That makes sense. In addition, he had also been lying to Lauren. Lauren Southern is also a victim in all this, strangely enough. Lauren Southern was essentially lured into a relationship that she didn't consent to, the real details of which she didn't consent.
Yo, what's up, Nader? What's going on, bud?
She couldn't know, she didn't know. Where Destiny was just doing, again, what Destiny seems to do. It seems to be the only thing he ever does, which is say whatever he has to in order to get sexual access. It's pitiful. And as a result of him leaking all this information to some other person, whether their account was compromised or whether they are themselves the leaker, or a leaker, I should say, because the real leaker is Destiny here. It's just gross. But as far as the videos are concerned, those roped a whole bunch of people into some really bad shit. And yeah, it exposed Destiny for leaking these things. And as perhaps a good warning for other people, do not trust this person and be very, very, very careful when it comes to such things. But it also is hurting a whole bunch of people whose sole crime in all of this is being in the same bedroom as Steven. And that's not good. That's not okay. You can't push undo on that. And when you're lying to people about what you are in order to get sexual access, you're lying to people about what you do in order to get sexual access, lying to people about what you are willing to do, and so on and so forth. That's predatory behavior. You're taking advantage of someone's vulnerability or naivete or lack of knowledge in order to get things from them that they would not surrender to you otherwise. That is not acceptable. That is not a thing you should defend. And this is a thing that is ubiquitous here. Destiny's not the only person who's done this. Nobody talks about it anymore in light of the Lolly folder leak. But remember, back when Vosh was called Irish Laddie, he sexually harassed a woman in DMs, sent like unwanted nudes, was pushy, etc., etc. And that's bad enough, but then afterwards he coordinated with people in order to bury this person so that her complaints would not be heard or recognized. This is also when he rebranded to Vosh about. So it's not good. I don't feel that bad for Lauren Southern, to be clear. But she is a victim in this too. She was caught in the web. She is the least victim in this though, and also easily the most deserving, let's be real, but easily the least victim in this. The real victims are the people that trusted Destiny to take footage of their intimate activities, which he then sent out to at least one person. And there's an additional point to all this, which is, this is the person we know of. How often has he done this? For all we know, given low level of attention to security he seems to have been giving, there could be hundreds of these things out there. We don't know. If you value your dignity and your public image, do not go near this man. Jesus H. Christ, do not go near this man. Avoid like the plague, because it is a plague. Because here's the worst part about this. Every single person now who associates, especially women, every single woman who associates with Destiny now in any capacity, people are going to be saying this about them. They don't deserve that. I've already seen it happen to a few people who are not even implicated in these leaks. People who may not have done anything. And by the way, not that having sex with Steven means that somebody else should have a right to start sharing your sex tapes, but people who haven't even been engaged in that, they're for whom no footage of such an act exists. These people are getting looped in. I guess finally, additional factor in all of this, when all of this stuff was happening, when most of these recordings took place, Destiny was specifically courting a red pill audience. He was going on places like the Whatever podcast. He was having regular debates with people like Andrew Wilson and Trent Horn and whatnot, people like that. He brought people with him that then got a tremendous amount of negative attention by people whose favorite pastime is to hound women about their sexual indiscretions. So I personally feel terrible for at least some of the people who were leaked on a personal level, because they're people I have empathy for. And I feel sick about all the people I don't know anything about, because they're having a bad time right now. This stuff is traveling far and wide. Nothing can be done to stop it. And it's this fucker's fault. This moron who has less sense than most teenagers do. It's astonishing.
Did you hear the other thing about Destiny? He apparently bullied an 8-year-old to show his pee. I don't know the truth. Yeah, it's something to watch for, though. Do you play Star Citizen? No, we talked about this before. I want to play it. I want to check it out. I have not yet. I don't know about this 8-year-old thing, though. I do remember there was a story about, there was a kid back in the day that, back when Destiny was like on, Twitch, like early Twitch or Justin.tv or whatever. It was a while ago. Call it like 8 years, 10 years or something like that. There was some kid that like hacked into his network and was like throttling his bandwidth, and it was causing his stream to fucking tank. So he did some fucking back-end wizardry and found who the kid was and was like planning on like something really violent for the kid. What was it? Let me see. Was it this? Nice background. Hey, what's up, Anoka? Sparkle, what's up? Red Bull and chocolate soylent. Very gummy consistency. It's like 90% of Destiny's diet, yeah. Want to invite Cove, both would get some benefits, gain from it, and there's a lot of discount for... yeah, I'm down. I can't do it right now, but I am down. And shoot me a DM. We'll get it all set up. Yeah, some kid like hacked into his I don't know, it's like a 10, 12-year-old kid, 8-year-old kid. I don't know. That's the only thing I know about a kid. I don't know about this other thing you were talking about, but apparently this kid like hacked into his network, started throttling his bandwidth, and it completely messing up his stream. So so Destiny found out who it was and like devised some kind of crazy revenge that involved like violence and shit.
Steven.
Hey, are you gonna help me set up WEP so I can protect myself?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I didn't say that.
Are you sure?
I know what I said, but you came in a little late.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I must have made a mistake
no,
there.
No. It's fine. Are you mad?
No, I'm not mad. How are your boxes in Iraq doing, dude? I heard they've got crazy internet over there.
My boxes in Iraq?
Yeah, your rooted Unix boxes in Iraq.
I have a VPN that's in Iraq now.
Oh yeah, they're rooted VPN. I don't remember what you said.
I mean, this kid doesn't sound 8. Maybe he's like fucking 13 or 14 or something.
The exact words were a little too humorous.
Oh yeah. I didn't say that. I have rooted box in Iraq. Is that what you think I said?
I think that might be the exact words you said. I don't remember.
No, it wasn't. I'm sorry. I like how you have like 4,000 viewers and you can't get my IP address. I just think that's hysterical.
I'm a rooted CSX VPN with 3 different locations in German and Iraq, and the other one I won't name. I'm pretty sure that's exactly what you said.
I have.
You changed your name to Bobman when you said that, though. Were you scared that I'd see your actual name or whatever? Because I noticed you changed it halfway through the conversation. That was kind of funny.
Yeah.
Anyways, this is like an hour call. If you want to just type in Destiny DDoS and you can find it. I'll shoot your referral on Discord. My core guild is open recruiting right now. So you have a lot of support too. Can't nuke, I gotcha. Discounts go away after the 5th though, but still, okay, cool. I'll keep it on my. Well, just put the link in there and just remind me for sure. I'm in crunch mode right now because I got fucking finals coming up and shit. So, man, this is my last semester, so I'm going through it. But another thing too, I guess about that game is there controller support for that game? Because I am just not competent with the whole fucking fucking mouse keyboard crowd. That's not. Yes. Okay. Cool. Very cool. Sweet. All right. Cool. Anyways, yeah, that's the only thing. This is the only thing that I knew that Destiny had any kind of, interaction with some kid. Actually, while I got a few of you here, let me do this. I think so. I've definitely known Nader here for long enough, and I need some help. It's not really a crazy thing. It's nothing. It's not crazy, but alright. So if it's cool with you, Nader, I'm just gonna go ahead and mod you. So new rule if you're a mod in here, which is gonna be Anoka and now Nader. Also Jimmy Box, Taco, Platty, Criticorn, who I haven't seen in a while, but either way, new fucking rule. Any fucking PPG type situation, instant ban, instant block, instant ban. Just fucking, just do it. As soon as you see it, I don't care because he has like a million alts. So just click on the name. If the name looks suspicious and it's like, oh, you created your account 27 minutes ago, ban them. I don't even care if it's not PPG. if he fucking created an account 27 minutes ago, instant ban, gone. See you later. No more. We will not be having any of that anymore. Are you? Oh my god. Kick is kick. Sorry, I'll get back to what we're doing here in a second. I just wanted to. I got back yesterday. I haven't been on my computer since Wednesday, so just want to make sure I'm in the right place, doing the right thing here. Okay, well, kick is not there yet in terms of this kind of stuff, so I'm just gonna have to roll with it. But yeah, just oh, Twisted Aviator, that's right. Yeah, I forgot about that. Well, I'm just gonna add you over there too. I know you don't have to hang out there if you don't want to, but I'm just gonna add you over there in case it ever comes up, and just same policy there. Cool. All right. Now we'll go back to what we were doing. Okay. Okay. So yeah, I did not know that. Yeah, I'm sure with this specific one, with this specific situation, I'm sure you are glad to help out specifically. It's a no more kind of thing. I have reached the end of my charitability with that man, with that person.
So I recently left Twitter for Blue Sky. Follow.
I want to check that out.
Why would women and minorities...
Lotus Eaters, something on Hunter Avalon, another Sargon thing about Blue Sky. Let's see. How right-wing media took over America. Interesting. Did it now? I did not know that was a thing. A lot of folks have reached the end of their shit with him. Yeah. I mean, I even saw it last night when Salty jumped into Turbo's fucking chat, and Turbo was talking to him, and Salty didn't even want to stay in Turbo's chat. He was like, "Fuck it, I'm out of here. I can't deal with this dipshit anymore." So that takes a lot. I'm happy to watch Turbo fucking crucify him, on his own stream, but I'm not going to go to the other person's stream anymore. I left his Discord weeks ago, and yeah, I'm just done with it. Same with Tiger Girl. Yeah, I know. Yeah. Actually, it was same. It was the exact same with Tiger Girl. Tiger Girl was not having it as well. So, yep. Yeah, I'm done with it. Fuck him.
So I recently left Twitter for Blue Sky, follow me, because Elon Musk, who we all know was a major Trump funder, has turned Twitter into a MAGA propaganda hellscape, and it wasn't even that fun to begin with. I'm not interested in participating. And while Elon's overt manipulation on Twitter is pretty horrifying to watch, it's only the latest in a very long timeline of billionaires buying media companies in order to control the narrative. And Trump's latest win shows definitively the propaganda works. The conservative media ecosystem with Fox News at its epicenter has created a sealed feedback loop, and it's responsible for brainwashing your least favorite cousins, who you'll likely have the pleasure of seeing across the Thanksgiving table very soon. It might be impressive if it weren't so disturbing. I wanted to find out how right-wing media grew into the multi-billion-dollar fact-resistant propaganda machine we seem today. Who put up the funding to build this vast ecosystem in the first place? This is who's funding the right-wing media. Let's get into it. It can be really hard to tell who owns what in our current news media landscape, and where the money comes from is having an increasing impact on the bias of the news sources. So it's important to have an understanding of how money impacts the biases in the news media that you consume. For example, look at this recent headline. Judge delays Trump immunity decision in New York hush money case. In over 300 articles Ground News found on this story, we can compare the articles side by side to see how different sources are framing the same story. For example, left-leaning HuffPost, owned by Verizon Communications and the Roberts family, uses the headline, Trump's hush money judge delays decision on verdict again, whereas right-leaning The Daily Signal, owned by the Heritage Foundation, uses a headline with a more positive spin. Judge pauses all deadlines in Trump's New York case based on election win. It's subtle, but knowing who owns these publications, like I didn't know that the Daily Signal was owned by the Heritage Foundation, that can help you interpret the biases that affect their reporting. This is where Ground News comes in and why I've been using them for over...
Didn't know you continued to watch her. I don't know that I've seen a few videos of hers. She pops up in my algo from time to time.
For a year. Today's partner Ground News is a great tool for...
I watch everything though, man. I watch everything. I don't care who it is, as long as it's good, you know, or as long as they're good. You know. She's way too left-wing for me, but most of the information is factual. Yeah, exactly.
For understanding the news. Here you can see the overall bias distribution with perspectives from around the world. If you scroll down, you can see the overall reporting practices of each source, with 70% of sources rated high or very high factuality. You can also see more information about who owns which source. Only 13% are independent news sources. All of these tools can be really helpful to provide more context to your own echo chamber. Especially as we're going into the holidays, you might have some FaceTime with your racist Uncle Rick, and knowing where his sources are coming from can better prep you for interactions with family members that you don't agree with. My favorite Ground News feature at the moment is their blind spot feed. With a bird's eye view of issues that tend to get more attention from the left or right than others, I can easily step out of my echo chamber and understand how people like your Uncle Rick have their narratives shaped. I'm especially impressed by how Ground News goes beyond simple news coverage to focus on media ownership and the financial...
Okay, everybody's seen the Ground News ad before. From many... I'm pretty sure they sponsor Shoe on Head.
Parent. Thanks, Ground News. Before we get into who's bankrolling this bull, I think it's worth taking a step back to understand what we mean by right-wing media and how it became so powerful in the first place. Many factors have contributed to the ecosystem we see today, including media fragmentation in the digital age, increasing political polarization, and the massive profitability of rage bait and the culture wars. But what makes the conservative content ecosystem uniquely powerful is that it's simultaneously isolated and unified. Unified because even though these outlets compete amongst themselves for clicks, when it comes to reinforcing the GOP's narratives, they're marching in lockstep. And isolated because conservative outlets are first and foremost contrarian. They define themselves in opposition to the mainstream press. And that's why it feels so impossible to get through to Trump voters. They exist in a sealed feedback loop and fundamentally distrust the sources the rest of us value. And that's thanks to a decades-long conservative crusade against the media and educated elites, because you can't go to war without first defining an enemy. The Republican obsession with liberal media prejudice dates back to at least the 1950s, but didn't properly boil over until the 1970s. See, old Ricky Nixon didn't much like the press. Forever a paranoid, from early in his career, Nixon believed reporters were out to get him. And as president, he had a plan to fight back. Aiming to undermine the press's credibility, the Nixon administration started pushing a new name for them, the media. Apparently, the press sounded too dignified and serious for Nixon's liking, as though the press implied a sacred duty to, be a watchdog serving the public's best interests by overseeing government affairs or something. The media, on the other hand, had the perfect ring to it, calling to mind manipulative, slick and slimy Madison Avenue types. A popular book also helped push the narrative. In 1971, The News Twister hit shelves, claiming, despite weak at best methodology, to have scientific proof of liberal media bias. By the time Nixon went to war with the Washington Post over Watergate, many conservatives were primed to see the president's downfall not as the righteous result of his own crooked actions, but as a coup orchestrated by the media against a beloved, twice-elected Republican. As the 70s gave way to the 80s, this distrust in the media, as it was now known, began to fester. Americans' trust in media peaked in 1976, when 72% of the population said they trusted...
What's up, Conrad? A bunch of the mainstream media does absolutely have Democrat-leaning bias. I don't know, but a lot does 100%. I think I would say most. Yeah, I don't know. About, I would even go far. I would say most. Yeah, we're talking at that level. Sword didn't show up. Let me see. I'm gonna check it out right now.
Mass media a great deal or a fair amount. By 1996, that figure had dropped to 53%. So what the happened in the 20 years between 1976 and 1996? Well, at least 4 major things. CNN, the repeal of the Fairness Doctrine, the rise of Rush Limbaugh, and the birth of Fox News.
It should. You might have to back out or refresh. You might have to refresh or, whatever. Yeah, there you go.
News. In 1980, CNN launched the first 24-hour cable news channel, changing the speed of breaking news forever and arguably taking reporting outside the realm of the public good and into the realm of rage bait for profitability. As a cable news station, CNN had far fewer restrictions than broadcasters using the public airwaves. Public broadcasters like CBS, NBC, and ABC were considered public trustees with a duty to serve the people. Part of that responsibility included the equal time rule, also known as the Fairness Doctrine, which required newscasters to air competing views on important issues in approximately equal measure. The doctrine was written to prevent broadcasters from abusing their power and setting a biased public agenda. Doesn't that sound nice? In the 1970s, the Federal Communications Commission called the Fairness Doctrine the single most important requirement of operation in the public interest. And then in 1987, Ronald Reagan ruined everything. Link to buy this t-shirt is in the description. In 1987, the FCC voted 4-0 in favor of ending the Fairness Doctrine, claiming that the policy hurt the public interest and violated free speech rights. Broadcasters had complained that the Fairness Doctrine was overly burdensome and actually inhibited their ability to cover issues of public importance, which on a certain level sort of makes sense. The Fairness Doctrine ultimately required broadcasters to decide which issues were important to the public and then decide which perspectives should be presented in equal measures. But the FCC preferred to instead leave it up to broadcasters to decide what to air based on how the marketplace reacted, because, as we know, the market always knows best. Furthermore, broadcasters argued that the rise of cable TV made a diversity of viewpoints available that hadn't existed in previous eras, meaning people could seek out sources aligned with their interests rather than expecting the big 3 broadcasters to cover every conceivable viewpoint on the nightly news. The problem is that this logic eliminates the notion of a single source of truth. If nobody is required to even pretend to be fair and balanced in the public's interest, then the line between news and editorial starts to blur really fast.
All right, yeah. So if you're so that says just debunked this, but I think people were getting a little too nuts with the Semitic variations that one can have or utilize in the chat. So anything that sounded like a J and a U together, whether it be JOOZ or JU or fucking whatever, people were getting pretty creative about that, about expressing things in a yeah, exactly. When did that happen? It happened sometime in the past year. I mean, sometime in the past 6 months. But I only noticed it recently when I went through some of my settings and I saw that I had like a couple different variations already kind of blocked out. And then when I remembered some of the new ones that I've seen, I just put those in there now. So JU is one that came up from time to time. So I was like, all right, I'm just gonna block that too. And so anytime somebody types just, it'll kind of get blocked out. So, I mean, there's yeah. Look, I don't fucking care. I know there's plenty of ways to say it without sounding fucking, negative. I know there is, but some people prefer the negative way. So I'm just gonna cut that out of the diet. So yeah, so I just saw like what were those stars, and I was like, oh, just to boot this. Okay, gotcha. The problem seems to be the sort of people who are in the media than laws and regulations. Yeah. Okay, well, that could have gone somewhat in that direction. I don't think Conrad would have done that, but the BBC has the fairness doctrine, and is the trust in British media all that much better? All right, all right.
Many members of Congress...
Yes, that word. That word. I don't know if I got them all. I don't know if I got them all, you know, but I put as many as I could remember in there, because some people were just... And sometimes it wasn't even Twitch chat. Sometimes it was in Kick chat. So when I saw it in Kick chat, I just applied it to Twitch and Kick and everything, you know.
Agreed that eliminating the fairness doctrine was a slippery slope. They criticized the FCC for trying to flout the will of Congress and said the decision was wrong-headed, misguided, and illogical. They even managed to pass a bill codifying the fairness doctrine, but Reagan vetoed it, and they couldn't get enough votes to overturn his veto. And to be clear, I'm not saying whether or not the fairness doctrine was necessarily a good policy. It's not black and white. Plenty of people, including President Obama, thought it was trash and a real threat to free speech. All I'm pointing out is that after the Reagan administration eliminated the doctrine in 1987, the media landscape transformed almost overnight. And along with cable news, talk radio was one of the driving forces, thanks in part to one man, Rush Limbaugh. Rush Limbaugh started airing political commentary in Sacramento, California in 1984, but it wasn't until the Fairness Doctrine was repealed that he became a nationally syndicated star. On August 1st, 1988, the Rush Limbaugh Show debuted on 56 AM radio stations across the U.S. Within a few months, it had been picked up by 100 more. Limbaugh understood something that most people didn't yet appreciate. Talk radio programming is entertainment, not journalism. He brought the outrageous radio shock jock shtick that was all the rage in the 80s to political conversations, offering a kind of brutal catharsis for conservatives who felt marginalized and silenced by the evil mainstream media. By 1994, the Rush Limbaugh Show was carried on some 650 stations and had an audience of 20 million listeners. Limbaugh had tapped into a powerful niche, and his success demonstrated the ravenous appetite for outspoken conservative content that has since blossomed into the vast ecosystem we see today. As Charles Sykes put it in Politico, we now live in the world Limbaugh created, including a political culture that is driven less by facts and ideas than by slurs, rationalizations, conspiracy theories, and alternative realities. Limbaugh helped to normalize cruelty, racism, and misogyny among a new generation of talkers. By 1995, 70% of all talk radio listeners identified as conservative.
Was Rush Limbaugh good? Some people would say he was. Some people would say he was for sure. I think I have a clip of his. Let me see.
But they wouldn't be confined to talk radio for long. Australian media mogul and real-life supervillain Rupert Murdoch got into the 24-hour cable news game in 1996. At the time, he also owned the New York Post, 20th Century Fox, and HarperCollins, and that's just in the U.S. Despite its name, Fox News was never a journalistic endeavor. From the start, it was an explicitly political operation. With devoutly conservative political consultant Roger Ailes at the helm as CEO, Fox News was explicitly created to be the Republican Party's megaphone. By the time the Bush administration declared war on Afghanistan in response to the 9/11 attacks, Fox News was marching in lockstep with the White House, including everything down to individual words like how to refer to Osama bin Laden.
I remember when Osama bin Laden was the biggest news in the world. We're going to call him Usama with a U. We're going to follow the White House on that.
The notes were very much in line with what the administration was putting out there.
Common vocabulary, sometimes known as inclusive code language, is an essential feature of cult programming. Language is a powerful tool for building solidarity, instilling ideology, and ingraining an us versus them mentality. And over time, the repeated use of emotionally charged buzzwords and special terminology serves to separate those who are...
I do have a clip of it. This is a great clip. Hold on.
These Because I'm wearing these ribbons, I care more than any of you about anything. And these ribbons say so. I want you people sitting at home and you people in the audience, look down at your lapel right now. I want you to do this. Put the camera back on me. Do this. When you look down, what do you see? You don't see anything because you're not wearing any ribbons. It means you're a bigot. It means you're a racist. It means you're a sexist. It means you're a homophobe. It probably means you're a white guy. It probably means you're a European, and you alone are responsible for all the ills of America. But I'm not, because I'm wearing these ribbons. I care more than you. Because I'm wearing these ribbons.
Here's a little taste of some old school Rush Limbaugh. He's right about everything he said. Imagine my shock. Conrad agrees. I don't know how you did it, but you're the only political commentary I can really stomach on Twitch. Everything else is either hard to get through for this or that reason. I don't know. Thank you, first of all. And secondly, I don't know. I'm just... Keep it light, keep it fun. I mean, I don't even consider what I do politics. I consider it's probably more pop politics than anything. But that's the goal, I guess, you know. No pants, no ribbons, nice. Conrad and Nate are getting after it. A lot of words could probably be unmanned now with the new no PPG policy. Yeah, that's true. That's true, Nader. Yeah, what's up, Stop Animal? Fucking name. That name. I'm just calling you Stop Animal from now on. Limbaugh was a partisan hack moron. This is a clip to make him look good that anyone can agree with. Yeah. Nice. Welcome in, Stop Animal. But, yeah, I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's just part of the formula. Part of the formula is fucking I'm not trying to fucking, solve world peace or anything, but I enjoy all kinds of people coming in. So, Salty, what's up, Salty? Limbaugh was a scholar and a saint. Yeah. Nice, welcome in. Actually, Salty, while you're here, I'm gonna mod you over in the Kick chat. You got here. The new rule is any instance of the PP man is he will be gone. So feel free to ban and block any and everything involving that person. But yeah. Salty is reliably Kick chat. I know he's also on the Twitch side, but I know Salty is not afraid. Salty is not afraid of Kick. Salty is fucking in it to win it with Kick, just like I am. So, yeah. Anytime you see anything with Mr. We Know Who, then Kick's better than Twitch. Yeah. Well, I think it's inevitable. I think Kick's gonna do well when Amazon eventually just shelves it. When Amazon shelves Twitch, I think everybody's gonna be like, "Oh my god, what do we do? What do we do?" Kick's already gonna be there. Nobody will have started up their fucking Kick accounts, and it'll be like the Wild Wild West. I mean, it already is the Wild Wild West, but it's so untapped right now. And I mean, obviously people go to YouTube too. I'm on YouTube right now as well. But I'm only on YouTube just to get my time in there so I can get my fucking advanced features situation going. I don't know. YouTube weirds me out just because I know they're very copyright, DMCA, content ID, all that shit. I just don't have the bandwidth or patience to monitor that. So, and I don't know what kind of content I'm getting into sometimes. So unless I get some kind of pop-up saying, "Hey, stop watching that thing right now," I think they shoot you like an email or something. Actually, let me see if they did about anything. And video is blocked in some territories. Copyrighted content has been detected in your politics This is from 5 days ago. As a result, your video can no longer be monetized and has been blocked in 2 territories. The copyright owner may be either monetizing it or receiving analytics about it in other territories. This is not a copyright strike and does not affect your channel. Yeah, okay. So it's like, you know, I have to stay on top of YouTube because this is from 5 days ago and I didn't see it. You know, fortunately, nothing crazy happened, so that's good. But you know, it's just not. You know, I'm trying to. I don't want to think. I turn on my stream so that you guys do the thinking for me. You know. Like, don't get me wrong. I like the competition, but I wouldn't put all my eggs in that basket. You're telling me the streaming, the thing that no one has made profitable, will somehow be a good loss leader for gambling addicts to keep getting the site into legal trouble who has to rely on their competitors' infrastructure. That's true. That is true. That is very true. All that is 100% true. Nail on the head. But either way, I mean, you know, I just don't think that Amazon. I think Amazon could pull the plug any moment. You know, I don't think. You know, maybe Twitch has another year or two, but I'd rather you know, start getting all the other stuff done. I am, and I bought the Restream package that gives me 5 platforms. Oh my god, I hit. All right, I don't know. Speaking of gambling, by the way, speaking of gambling. I did see that. Yeah. I remember. I saw that you sent me that link before. Yeah, in the DMs. I did see that. You just saw winning without even trying with their streaming. Yeah. That's why I'm doing it right now. That's why I'm on. That's, you know, you gotta put in the time. I gotta put like you have to put in like 2 months, 2 months of time, and for them to take you seriously. So, you know. But yeah, I bought the Restream package where it gives you 5 platforms. So what I'm gonna do is Twitch, Kick, YouTube, and then Twitter, and then Rumble. I'm gonna do all 5. Fuck it, I'm doing all 5. Fuck it, we're doing it live. But man, speaking of gambling, I was away for Thanksgiving. And I was in a state where you can do online sports betting. And I was like, yes, okay. This is the one time a year. My family has a really, really bad history in sports gambling. So I stay away from it. But I do daily fantasy sports. I do my, you know, season-long fantasy sports. But I don't have a bookie. You know, I'm not fucking doing a 3-team teaser for the Monday night game, playing the over, the money line, and, you know, a prop bet. I'm not doing that kind of stuff at all. However, on Thanksgiving, when I'm in a state where they allow online sports betting, I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna give myself a couple $100 to play the field, see what happens. And I put a bunch of bets out there. I mean, you know, most of them were like, you know, $25, something like that, and it would just be like, you know, maybe like a 3 or 4 leg parlay or something. I did like some crazy 10 leg parlays where I put like $1 to win, you know, $40,000. You know, highly unlikely stuff to happen, but for $1, I mean, what are you really losing? Trovo, I was thinking about Trovo too. I don't. It'd be interesting. Well, whatever. I could do whatever I want. You know, it just depends on what makes the most sense. So I might throw Trovo in there too. But I did hit a fucking 9-leg parlay. Oh, really? God, what happened? Already? Is it the PP man? Is it the fucking PP man? Yeah, I'll go. What is this? What the fuck? What's going on in here? Holy shit. Okay, well, just ban somebody. Oh, actually, let me see. God. Okay. I've never had to do this kind of stuff before, but whatever. About me, username, avatar, banner, no. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for that. That definitely had to be him. That definitely had to be him, man. Who does that kind of stuff, man? I will say I did tweet out my YouTube stream, which does have a link tree to everything, but I think the link for the Discord is old in the link tree, so it shouldn't work. So I don't think he would do that. Well, you know what? Like I said earlier, I'm done being charitable with him, so I'm not ruling him out. That was fucking gross. Yeah, I'm done being charitable with him, so I don't know. Could be him, maybe not him. Who knows? That man knows he has no boundaries and will do anything for attention. So it's as far as I'm concerned, it could be him for all I know. There are more. More. Where? In every chat? I think I got them all. Well, he's blocked. He's blocked, but so I can't see the messages. Okay. I thought blocking him would just do it. Do I have to delete every fucking one of these? Ugh. God, this is why I fucking hate Discord, dude. This is why I'm never on it. This is why you never see me fucking hanging out in Discord. It's just shit like this, dude. I'm trying to like keep my faith in humanity. You know? I mean, I see them there, but I mean, once I blocked him, they all went away, so I figured that deleted them, but apparently not. So... But I mean, yeah, I could totally see this, you know, him doing this. I could totally see that. You know, he's not trustworthy because he has 40 million alts. You know, he can just always say, "How could you think that of me?" Bro, you have fucking 1,000,000 alts, dude, and you have a fucking horrible reputation. What do you mean, how could I think that of you? You know? Ugh. I'm getting rid of all the let's see. Anything else? Okay, the general. How many was in the general? I honestly, I do think this was him. I definitely think this was him, so. Is he in my fucking... I don't even know if he's in. He's done stuff like it before, but it could easily be anyone else as well. That's true. That's very true. I mean, it's, you know, the only place where somebody can get my current Discord link is in Twitch chat. That's the only place. Because I think anywhere else I have it, whether it's the link tree or if I have it like in my profile somewhere on, you know, X or whatever, those links are probably really old. Really, really old. So in my mind, I'm thinking it could only be somebody from Twitch chat, because Twitch chat is the only one that's connected to Nightbot, and Nightbot has like the latest link. Anyways, fuck it, whatever. I've just spent way too much time in here. Let me know if I missed one. All right, I think I got them all. Oh, no, 43, I see. 43, nice. Let me just get these real quick. Let's do it. Yeah. I'm going to put this on while I do this.
Who are inside the group from those outside of it, thus sealing the ecosystem off from outside logic. This has been done in spectacular form in conservative circles thanks to Fox News and the surrounding conservative news ecosystem. And the great trick is that while much of what Fox and its ilk put out is bullshit, there are just enough verifiable facts mixed in to make every claim seem plausible, and the audiences eat it right up. This past summer, Fox News hit its 90th consecutive quarter as the #1 most watched cable network in the country. Not news network, cable channel, period. A 2020 Pew Research survey found that Republicans trust Fox News more than any other outlet, and that the more conservative a person is, the more likely they are to say they trust Fox. But though Fox News largely sets the right-wing media agenda, the secondary players in the ecosystem have shifted over time. Around the 2016 election, the far-right news website Breitbart emerged as a key force of conservative disinformation and attempted to unseat Fox News as the de facto voice of American conservatism. According to a Columbia Journalism Review analysis, in 2016, the 5 most widely shared stories in which Breitbart referred to Fox were ones aimed at delegitimizing the network as the central arbiter of the conservative news. Unwilling to be portrayed as part of the mainstream media, Fox News was quick to course correct. Within a few months, its coverage was more closely integrated with Breitbart and the rest of the conservative media ecosystem, and its authority was mostly restored. Still, the challenge revealed a deeper truth. In today's hyper-fragmented media landscape, there are now alternatives to the alternatives, and even once tiny blips.
My bad. This picture, this is definitely like the kind of picture that he would do this with. I'm convinced it's him. You know, my Discord is the most quiet place on the planet. All right, maybe people put in a message every few months, kind of thing. The only thing that ever happens in my Discord is the announcements that happen for my streams in the Legate Lives channel. Other than that, this is the quiet place, most quietest place ever. Then 67 fucking instances of this image appear. This image, this is like the most PPG image I've ever seen. I'm thoroughly convinced this was him. Thoroughly convinced this is him. Make an admin in your Discord so I could fix and secure it. I've built 3 of my own and run a couple others. 99%. I'm thoroughly convinced it's him. Yeah, I mean, I'll figure out the whole admin moderator stuff. You know, I'm happy to bring people on board that know how to do this kind of stuff. I know Grumple was talking about it a while back. You know, it's just not been a priority at all because I just don't fucking spend any time in Discord. I don't even spend time in other people's Discords. Or I don't spend enough time in my own Discord, let alone other people's Discord. So it's just not been a priority at all. This person. Arasta. I can't believe it will only let me report their photo, their username. What are you reporting? Select elements that you want to report. Whatever, just put name. This is annoying. This is spam. This makes me feel unsafe. This is inappropriate. Their name is inappropriate. See, like this is already horrible, you know. Reporting in Discord is really bad. Wow. Their text descriptors, it's so bad. That is really bad. Okay, well, I don't know. Whatever. I don't care. I think it's done. I fucking locked the general. Actually, I'm gonna lock the whole thing. Fuck it. I'm locking the whole thing. Done. Done. I locked the whole fucking thing. I locked all that until I can figure it out. Actually, do that. We'll lock that too. We'll lock that. This is so annoying. I mean, I understand why there's a lot of like complex systems built out with roles and stuff like that in here, so totally understandable. And permissions, lock that. Everything's locked. The whole Discord's on lock until whatever. All right. You have to report the post to get better options. Oh, okay, gotcha. All right. Well, I fucking deleted them all, so. Good night, everyone. Glad. Yo, Seeker, what's up? How you doing? It's been a minute. Gave y'all a heads up. Hope everyone has a wonderful night. Yep. Yeah, appreciate it. Thank you. Ma, sorry I came in spamming that to him. Thank you for not banning me. Hey, what's up, Shengen Gang? Porn raids. Wait, so what happened here? What happened with Seeker? I haven't seen Seeker in a minute. It's been a long time since I've seen Seeker, but what happened? Something about spamming or whatever. Yeah, but I think that link is old. I'm pretty sure that link is old as hell. Profile. Discord. I gotta get rid of that. Pretty sure that's old. Save. X. And like tree. Fuck me, man. Oh my god. All right, whatever.
Lip websites posting fringe conspiracy theories like Breitbart can grow and be used as a tool to shift the overall conservative conversation nationwide. These days, while Fox still reigns supreme on cable, podcasts, YouTube videos, Substack newsletters, and boutique platforms like Rumble have become the go-to sources for the most extreme right-wing perspectives. And there's a revolving door between Fox and these more extreme platforms. Many conservative celebrities who rose to fame while working for established media organizations have continued leveraging their profiles after leaving those outfits often in disgrace, including Megyn Kelly, Bill O'Reilly, Tucker Carlson, and Steve Bannon, whose podcast The War Room was named the top source of misinformation in 2023 by a Brookings Institution study. The relevance of trusted individual commentators over actual news-gathering organizations speaks to a unique moment in American history at which trust in mass media has reached an all-time low. As of this year, only 31% of respondents to a Gallup poll said they felt a great deal or fair amount of confidence in the media to report the news fully, accurately, and fairly. So instead, Americans are putting their faith in individual content creators who sometimes say things their audiences want to hear. You probably wouldn't be tuned into this show right now if you didn't understand that impulse. And it never ceases to amaze me how many comments I get from people calling me out for being biased and not presenting fair, equal, and unbiased reporting, despite the fact that I am not, nor have I ever claimed to be, a fair and balanced source of journalistic reporting. I'm not a journalist. I care deeply about the factuality of my sources, but this isn't live on the ground reporting. I condense...
Yeah, I saw 60 Minutes do a piece on it. I saw a little reel where I forget who it was, but he was walking through it, and essentially they were playing the organs in there. It sounded pretty neat. So yeah, I did see that. I'm alert. Go to bed. Good night. Missed you, buddy. Sorry, I've not been around. No, it's all good, Seeker. No worries. That's not true. When the link expires, it expires for all channels. Every Discord link that I deleted right now has been old as fuck. I deleted it from Linktree. I deleted it from Twitter. I deleted it from YouTube. The only place that link exists right now is in Twitch chat when Nightbot puts it up. That's about it. So, I'm assuming that whoever did that definitely got that link from Twitch chat, and I would not put it past he who shall not be named. That kind of thing is right up his alley. Right up his alley. So, but yeah, thanks, Seeker. I appreciate it. Macron. True, Mr. Roger comment. So it should still work as long as the channel link still. So it should still work. So as long as the channel it links to still exists and it's not explicitly set to expire. Okay. An old invite should still work. So as long as the channel it links to still exists and it's not explicitly set to expire. And okay, confirm forum Nazy. Whatever. I think I'm done with it.
The work of real journalists into easy-to-digest content and provide additional context that news sources don't, including my legal knowledge as a lawyer. That's the value I provide to you. And I hope to God that in addition to watching my videos, you also read actual news articles from a variety of sources. But the prevalence of people confusing YouTube commentators for fair, unbiased journalists is indicative of the consequences that happen when you have a deeply divided populace with a poor education system whose distrust in the news means there's no single source of truth. So they seek the truth out in alternatives. But the very important difference between me and the right-wing commentators we're talking about is that not only do I genuinely care about facts, but also that my sponsors don't get to tell me what to say. The same apparently cannot be said for commentators like the Tim Pools of the world. In September 2024, Tim Pool and half a dozen other conservative content creators came under fire after a DOJ indictment alleged that they'd been sponsored by Russian propagandists to spew disinformation to their social media audiences. Allegedly, 2 employees of the state-controlled media outlet Russia Today orchestrated a $10 million scheme to distribute English-language videos consistent with the Kremlin's goal to weaken U.S. opposition to Russian interests like its war in Ukraine. Though the DOJ didn't allege any wrongdoing by the influencers and commentators, noting that they were actively deceived about the source of the company's funding, let's not let them off the hook entirely. Because regardless of who was paying, the conservative commentators were still perfectly happy to accept money to spew disinformation. This wasn't talking points about quality in an ad for a mattress. This was disinformation about current events presented as truths, and none of these commentators bothered to check the facts or give two shits about what they were actually saying in exchange for money, allegedly. One of the commentators allegedly created 130 videos for this fake Russian company. And our collective distrust of news sources that have proven over decades to be credible in exchange for relying on independent third-party non-journalist internet commentators means our media landscape is more vulnerable than ever to the influence of nefarious actors. And the $10 million the Russians spent buying out a handful of influencers is small potatoes compared to the kind of funding being pumped through the broader right-wing media ecosystem at any given moment, even with explicit foreign policy goals in mind. For example, the popular conservative news website, the Epoch Times, is just one of the U.S. news outlets aligned with Falun Gong, a religious movement that opposes the Chinese state. Since launching in 2000, its publications, which aim to foment anti-CCP sentiment, have promoted conspiracies about Democrats, election fraud, and communists to pro-Trump Americans. Though it's ridiculously easy to make a buck off of right-wing conspiracy peddling and fear-mongering, profit isn't always the main driver anyway. It's its influence. Because when it comes to controlling the media and the message, Republicans have long understood the importance of having their own media to push their propaganda. As the conservative movement began to coalesce during the second half of the 20th century, its operatives had a big picture strategy to control the full continuum of information production, from universities to think tanks to media outlets. A 1997 report by the National Committee for Responsible Philanthropy revealed how conservative organizations had aligned their grant-making around a three-pronged mission designed to help political conservatives shape public and elite opinion. Prong 1, developing right-wing media outlets. Prong 2, developing conservative public affairs programming on public television and radio. And Prong 3, right-wing media critics to exert pressure on the mainstream media into covering the right's political and policy agenda. And it worked. By 1995, before Fox News even entered the chat...
Yo, what's up, T-Bird? Can we compare AIPAC and Russian influence? Why isn't she showing the Falun Gong logo? I don't know. What's up? How you doing, T-Bird? Sorry, I'm doing some stuff in the background here.
Media references to conservative think tanks far outnumbered references to center or left-of-center research institutions by nearly 7-to-1. Even so, Republicans have remained convinced that the liberal media monster poses an urgent, existential threat that must be stopped, and thus continue pumping funding into alternative news organizations. And like political donations, the media money can be difficult to trace. My fantasy of giving you a cute little flow chart went out the window when I realized how many nonprofits, PACs, and donor-advised funds are involved in the whole scheme. That said, some players are significantly more committed to the media influence angle than others, and I think it's worth naming and shaming at least a few. First up is David D. Smith, executive chairman of his daddy's company, Sinclair Broadcast Group. Today, the right-wing media empire is best known for gobbling up local television news outfits and forcing anchors across the country to spew identical Republican talking points. In 1995, when the company went public, Sinclair had 13 TV stations and 8 markets in its portfolio. Today, it controls 185 stations in 86 markets. The acceleration point came in 1996 when the Telecommunications Act loosened some restrictions on media ownership, allowing Sinclair to more easily expand into new markets. Most of Sinclair's holdings are local TV news stations with immense built-in trust with their loyal audiences, and that trust is ripe for abuse. Studies have shown that when Sinclair buys a station, its coverage of national politics increases significantly, and the tone of all coverage shifts to the right. For example, Sinclair stations have followed Trump in characterizing crime as a grave threat, despite violent crime decreasing significantly in recent years. Next up, Philip Anschutz. When he launched the Washington Examiner in 2005, his goal, like Murdoch before him, was to create a conservative alternative, in this case to the Washington Post. Anschutz insisted that the Washington Examiner's op-ed content was to be produced by conservatives and conservatives only. Today, Anschutz houses the Washington Examiner and his other media properties under Clarity Media Group, a subsidiary of the Anschutz Corporation, which also owns multiple hotels, oil and gas wells, and, obviously, Coachella. Yes, the music festival. Next up, Ferris and Dan Wilkes, a pair of evangelical Christian billionaire brothers whose fortunes derive from oil and gas fracking, who have each poured millions of dollars into right-wing media companies that promote climate change denial and push anti-LGBTQ dogma. They've given at least $8 million to PragerU alone, the unaccredited edutainment platform with video titles like Build the Wall. PragerU was recently approved for use in Florida schools and is angling to appear in more states, including the Wilkes' home state of Texas. In 2015, one of the brothers put up nearly $5 million to help Ben Shapiro launch the Daily Wire. According to scholars who've studied the influence of big oil in the conservative right, the Wilkes brothers have played an outsized role in funding and shaping the conservative and evangelical right in Texas and nationwide, because they, like so many Republicans, are keenly aware of how important it is to put your money into your megaphone. And then there's hedge fund billionaire and former computer scientist Robert Mercer, who was the single biggest donor to Trump's 2016 campaign, throwing $13.5 million behind him even before it was cool. Mercer rarely speaks in public and never to journalists, but his spending makes his beliefs clear. He gave $10 million to help Steve Bannon usher in a new era at Breitbart. He's a major donor to the Media Research Group, an organization that calls itself a media watchdog on a mission to correct liberal media bias. And he has a $10 million stake in Cambridge Analytica, the company famous for collecting personal data from millions of unsuspecting Facebook users to target political ads for Trump's 2016 campaign.
I guarantee she probably gathers clips for Right Wing Watch. She's very versed in this topic. She's very I don't know if all of this information is just from recent research or if this is just knowledge she just has. But I could definitely see her like clipping a couple Nick Fuentes and crazy pastors and sending that over to RWW. which maybe we could check out. I think it's been a few weeks since we've been on RWW. See what kind of Looney Tunes are going on over there.
Yikes. Next, there's shipping supply magnate Dick Uihlein. This Tea Party Republican was the top conservative donor for the 2022 election cycle, to the tune of $82 million. And his foundation supports conservative media outfits, including Real Clear Media, which has 14 sub-brands, including the polling aggregator Real Clear Polling, and the right-wing news site The Daily Caller. Both of those outlets are also supported by numerous other major conservative donors, but if I kept naming and shaming individual billionaires funding right-wing media, we'd be here all day. So instead, let's round this out by looking at a...
I thought Daily Caller... Well, I mean, she's just talking about the money going to it, but Daily Caller was... Tucker Carlson, wasn't it?
Vehicle instead of a person. Donors Trust is a donor-advised fund that's been called the dark money ATM of the conservative movement. It's given money to the Federalist Society, the Heritage Foundation, and Leonard Leo's 85 Fund, to name just a few. Donor-advised funds are basically charitable giving middlemen. Instead of giving directly to a foundation, rich people put their money into a donor-advised fund, which then takes their advice, recommendations, donor-advised, about where the funds should go. It's a win-win for the rich person who gets to claim the tax deduction immediately, whether or not the money has actually been distributed yet, avoid the administrative aspects of giving, and duck capital gains taxes. Perhaps most importantly, though, it puts a smokescreen between the rich person and their priorities, because donor-advised funds aren't required to disclose their donors. In 2021, Donor Trust took in more than $1 billion, and most of it came from just 2 anonymous donors. So though we can name and shame, we don't even know how much some of these people have actually given. The same year, Donor Trust started funneling millions into a network of conservative media entities that included the now defunct Project Veritas, known for its deceptively edited and covertly recorded videos targeting mainstream news outlets, labor organizations, and Democratic politicians. Our good friend Laura Loomer, remember her 15 Minutes of Fame? She worked with them very briefly. The American Spectator, which recently defended Moms for Liberty, the parents' rights organization that has been designated as an extremist group by the Southern Poverty Law Center. And Metric Media and the Pipeline Media Network, which...
Didn't they have like fucking some Nazi shit going on? Moms for Liberty? Remember they said like, you know, not everything that happened was bad or something. They had some kind of gaffe, I think, some kind of nazi gaffe.
Which is comprised of nearly 1,300 pay-for-play partisan news sites and reportedly published more than 2,000 stories relating to the integrity of the 2020 election. Additional Metric Media backers include our pal Dick Uihlein, Peter Thiel, and the Franklin News Foundation, which has ties to the Koch network. The Kochs deserve their own deep dive, coming soon, but it feels worth mentioning that they also fund the climate-skeptical libertarian outfit Reason Magazine. And if you, like me, are like, this deeply secretive, complicated web of billionaire donors and covert operatives using money to gain influence reminds me of something. What is it? What could it be? Campaign finance. It's dark money donors who give to organizations who place ads meant to manipulate us into voting certain ways, or give to politicians whose laws and votes will benefit the nameless, faceless billionaires backing the dark money ventures. The network is one and the same, because it's all part of the same larger playbook. Controlling the media, which we've spent today talking about, is one branch of the conservative beast, sometimes called the Kochtopus because of how involved the Koch brothers are in all of this. The birth of this movement can be traced to a number of things, but one of those is the Powell Memo, a secret document written by Supreme Court Justice Lewis Powell that has gone down in infamy as the inspiration behind all of this. I made a whole episode about it. You should watch that next. So what can we do about all this? Honestly, not much. Sorry, I'm starting to get a little cynical about how much power we actually have in the face of stupid men with billions of dollars to burn. But education is what I turn to when I'm feeling powerless. And that could mean actually tuning into Fox News once in a while to see what the other side is talking about if you have the stomach for it, because it's important to know what you're up against. Read books like Dark Money by Jane Mayer, which help uncover the billionaires pulling the strings in media and in our politics. And also, take a break from news media altogether. It's important to stay informed, but it's very easy to become burnt out by it all. You do not need to follow what Trump or your other favorite Republican to hate is doing every minute of every day. There is little you can do about any of it at this point, and being hyper-vigilant is a clear symptom of anxiety, as my therapist would say. Don't fully check out, but fighting the good fight takes many, many years, so you can't burn yourself out right at the beginning. I didn't read any news for the last 3 days, very much on purpose. If I, a person whose literal job it is to read the news, can take a few days off, so can you. Take care of yourself. If you're interested in learning more about money and politics, eating the rich, and building class solidarity, etc., I invite you to join me over on Patreon, where we're planning some initiatives to help build community in Trump's America. Plus, you get ad-free and uncensored versions of all these episodes as well. Go to patreon.com/Legion Miller to join. Thank you to my multi-platinum patrons Rex, T, Latranger Lucas, Joshua Cole, Thomas Johnson, Anthony Giles K, and Brett Piontek. Your generosity, me.
Well, if you are interested in eating the rich and building solidarity, go over to her Patreon. What's going on with the old RWW? Let's see. Kirk Cameron aims to become the new anti-socialist Mr. Rogers. Oh my God. Tim Pool spreads false Christian nationalist history. This guy's dangerous. Joel Webber.
Finally, Mars has accepted my sacrifices and unleashes me.
No, T-Bird, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the Legion. I appreciate that. Joel Webben says, you are a stupid person if you think rap music is a legitimate source of art. This guy, holy shit. Oh, this guy and this lady's so crazy. Oh my God. Prophetess Kat Kerr claims she has been texting with Trump. 10 days ago. Did we see this one? I don't think so. This lady's nuts.
20 minutes before he was shot in Pennsylvania, he texted me on the platform and said, I need to know if there's anything else I need to know. He meant from God to share with the people. And God had me tell him. I texted it back to him because he was texting me. I said, God said, no matter what happens today, no matter what happens, don't let fear interfere in your life. Don't let it put fear in you. You keep going forward. You're not going to die. He was told all this by God. I have your back. So no matter what it is, fear not. You're going to finish your races and you're going to win. So you have to keep going forward. And so that's why when he was shot, he wasn't afraid because he had that word from God.
Wow. Man, Hassan's been all over the place lately. I think we've seen these, though. These seem pretty old. Hank Kuhneman says it'll soon be revealed that Biden has been dead for years. Okay. Ben Ziesloft calls for the separation of sodomy and state. What the fuck is that?
But there's certainly not a...
Has Destiny released any new content after his OnlyFans promo released? Yeah. Yeah, we watched a little bit of that earlier. President Sunday did a segment on it. That was actually pretty good. No, I have not seen anything. I haven't really been following it. I think like the most headliniest headline that I saw was apparently there was possibly, a leaked tape out there with Nick Fuentes. But even President Sunday was like, no, that's not true. So he was like, it's unfortunate because that would have been a fucking banger of a fucking leaked tape to come out. But see Sunday and the call with Destiny, I heard a little bit of it. I did hear a little bit of it. I think Queeman was going over it. Queeman or J-Stock, one of the two. Or maybe it was both of them. It seems like it'd be right up your alley. What, watching a Nick Fuentes leak video? No, I think I'm good. Chud Logic reacted to it. There's been a lot of Chud Logic. Here's the thing, like I've been out of town since Wednesday. No, the drama? Okay. I've been out of town since Wednesday, so I have not... Anything that's happened in the past 5 days, I have no clue. No clue about it. I was with family, and I wanted to keep it that way. I basically stayed off for the internet, all except for like maybe an hour or two when I hung out on Turbo Stream to fucking crucify fucking Bimmy in Turbo's chat. Because I knew he was fucking watching that chat. I know there was some drama with Chud Logic and J-Stock. I know J-Stock went over a lot of the President Sunday stuff with Queeman, and I think I did see a little bit of that, but not a lot. I mean, the stuff that I did see, the language that was going on was just like kind of disgusting, and I was like, ugh. They were talking about male fluids and volumes of male fluids and all kinds of stuff. I was just like, this is Thanksgiving. I'm trying to stay wholesome, Did you delete the links for Legate thing? No, I didn't delete it. I just privated it. I privated everything in there until I have time to just go through it all. So you can DM it to me if you want. If there's like a link. But also like keep in mind I'm not going to be on forever tonight. I'm not doing like a fucking 45-minute video. If you have like a clip, if you have like a 3-minute clip or a short or a reel or something like that, I can watch it, but I'm not doing like a 40-minute video. But you can just DM it to me. It's like an hour. Yeah, no. No, it's okay. You just give me the TLDR on it.
But there's certainly not a separation of God in states, a separation of truth in states, or a separation of morality in states. The government must look to God as they discern good and evil, truth and falsehood, and justice and injustice, because there's nowhere else to look on these matters. And also notice how this standard is never applied to anybody except for Christians. We're the only ones who are expected to check our faith at the door of the state capitol or the courthouse and then pretend like we are neutral actors, but no one is neutral. Christians will bring Christian values into our public life in the same way Muslims will bring Islamic values, Darwinists will bring Darwinist values, or homosexuals will bring homosexual values. And if anything, in our day, we need separation of sodomy in states.
Jesus.
This is a global coup d'etat by the most evil cabal of people on the planet.
Oh, that's from a year ago. TYT. After Trump win, Terry Copeland Pearsons says Christians must cut off the enemy's head.
Goliath fell, but it took the cutting off of the head.
The TLDR is Sunday was like, yeah, exactly. No, that's the part that I caught. And Chud was like, well, Destiny's getting mugged. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I don't think I saw the Chud Logic stuff on it, but I do remember listening to, I think what it was J Stock's stream, and Queeman was on a call with him in Discord, and they were just going over it. And I heard all of that stuff from Sunday, and I was just like, you know what? I'm just gonna go back to Thanksgiving. This is my fucking my week of wholesomeness. It's gonna be fucking turkey and pumpkin pie, and I'm just gonna fucking unplug from internet shit. But the moment when I heard Sunday using language like that, I was like, all right, no, I don't want to hear it. I'm done. I'm backing out of this shit.
And the head of what's behind all this has not been cut off yet. We haven't fully seen what's going on, but he has fallen to the ground. That prevailing spirit of anti-Semitism, anti-God, anti-Christian has fallen. But now I believe the Lord is going to help us as we continue to pray, to believe, and do what we're supposed to do. We'll take up the enemy's sword and cut his head off with it.
That's right.
Okay. Let's get a crazy pastor. Oh, here's Pete Hegseth. Pete Hegseth's plan to create a Christian nationalist educational insurgency.
I think we need to be thinking in terms of these classical Christian schools are boot camps for winning back America. These are
totally.
These are,
and we kind of make that argument by saying it's always been the 1%, 2%, 3%.
That's right.
That and on our side, that's what the crop of these classical Christian schools are going to do in a generation.
Yeah.
Policy answers like school choice, while they're great, that's phase 2 stuff later on. Once the foothold has been taken, once the recruits have graduated boot camp, and we call it a tactical retreat. Actually, we draw out in the last part of the book what an educational insurgency would look like, because I was a counterinsurgency instructor in Afghanistan, and kind of the phases that Mao wrote about.
Yeah.
And we're in middle phase 1 right now, which is effectively a tactical retreat where you regroup, consolidate, and reorganize.
Yep.
And as you do so, you build your army underground with the opportunity later on of taking offensive operations in an overt way. And obviously, all of this is metaphorical and all that good stuff. But
wink, 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 wink.
But you're exactly right. I share that same optimism.
Joel Wieben on the importance of being called a Nazi, anti-Semite, racist, misogynistic bigot. Okay, that's it. Hitting all the buzzwords right now. In Minecraft, right, in Minecraft, exactly.
If you are not being called a Nazi, then you are not pushing against the post-war consensus hard enough. You're not. If you're not being called a racist.
Oh, wow. This already sounds great. Let's see, hold on. This already sounds great. Let's go. This guy is like Matt Walsh on crack, dude. On steroids. Crack mixed with steroids and fentanyl. All right. This guy's intense.
If you are not being called a Nazi, then you are not pushing against the post-war consensus hard enough. You're not. If you're not being called a racist, then you probably at some level have given in to anti-white discrimination. At some level. You might not be doing it to the level of a Democrat, but at some level, you're probably doing that. If you're not being called anti-Semitic, then you are probably not pushing against Zionism, which is not biblical, not true to God's word, hard enough. If you're not being called a misogynist, then you are probably not teaching the clear principles of Scripture as it pertains to men and women. If you're not being called a bigot, then you are probably not frequently and courageously enough speaking about the horrors and the abomination of sodomy.
Oh my God, dude. Dude, that guy. Joel Weeben, man. Watch out for that guy. Holy shit. All right. I'm gonna let I like to do an hour or so of right wing watch, and I think they probably took the holidays off, because some of the last posts were like 9 days ago, 10 days ago. So I'm gonna let them build up. Maybe we'll come back in a couple days, see if they got anything, see if they got any juicy. Let's do some fucking. What's going on in fucking Instagram world?
Oh, I'm so pumped for this Black Friday. Yo, what? Where's the crowds? Oh, this is gonna be lame. This is so empty. Oh, wait, why is it actually?
Yeah, from what I heard, there's been nobody went to fucking Black Friday. If this is actually Black Friday, this is crazy, because Best Buy is usually a fucking nightmare.
It's so empty. This is crazy. Wait, it's actually like empty. This would be packed. I just walked in here. It's Black Friday. Wow, you guys aren't even actually fighting over stuff. This is actually empty. This is concerning. There's so many TVs. How is it a doorbuster deal? Something's off. People would be tackling each other here right now. What? If I told someone from 2004 that there's just like TVs everywhere, no one's grabbing, they would not believe me. Are we doomed? Oh, all right, bro. This is honestly ridiculous. I could just grab an Xbox. Come on, someone tackle me. Nah, come on, bro. Seriously, where's everybody at? Oh, I'm so pumped for this Black Friday. Yo, what?
That is fucking crazy. I've never done a Black Friday before. But that is fucking crazy to see. POV, you talked to that one family member who's Stormcloak in Skyrim. I've only played Skyrim a little bit. I think I played Skyrim enough to get to like the first dragon, and I will say I had a lot of fun playing it. It wasn't a lot, but for what I did play, I was like, man, I could definitely get into this. But from what I hear, Stormcloaks are pretty controversial. I think maybe somebody out there who's more Skyrim versed can tell me.
I think Argonians belong in Skyrim. Argonians belong in Skyrim? Okay, how much skooma have you had?
Here we go.
I'm being serious. For 1 second, if you don't believe the propaganda coming out of the Empire, think about it. Lizards living in non-tropical temperatures.
But we have dragons.
Tell me you're a Thalmor puppet again, yeah? This is what Ulfric has been saying,
You
okay?
mean the Thalmor
Look,
asset?
Listen, if it wasn't for the White Gold Concordat, and it wasn't for, the fact that we can't even worship Talos, and we're not unified, we were the first people in Skyrim.
What about the snow elves?
What even is a snow elf? Next thing you're going to say is that they're actually the little farmer in the caves. Please, it's just rubbish. If you want the truth, it all happened when we bowed down to the knife.
Whoa,
okay?
buddy. You can't say that.
Oh, here we go. I didn't mean it, What's the big deal? Knife ear,
buddy,
Oh, come on. Next you're going to say that I can't even say Enwa.
I think Argonians belong in Skyrim.
Oh, man. This one goes out to Turbo. A fucking Jimmy Dore clip finally popped up in my algo.
They did a study on DEI, and the study basically said DEI is bullshit and has actually the opposite effect of what you're looking for. Well, here, a recent study by the Network Contagion Research, which sounds like they're trying to kill a virus. It's called the NCRI, and Rutgers University. They explored the psychological impacts of diversity, equity, and inclusion training, DEI training. The research indicated that exposure to certain DEI materials might increase hostility, authoritarian tendencies, and acceptance of extreme rhetoric among participants. Guess what? And then the New York Times and Bloomberg decided not to publish the research. And it led to...
Oh, I got one for you, Salty. I got one too. I know I got some Aussie stuff here. Apparently they're trying to cancel Australia Day. That's that. Canceling Australia Day popped up in my algo today, actually.
Discussions. Yeah, oh really? They did a study on DEI.
Let me see, where was it? Oh yeah, is this it?
Here we go again, Australia Day boycotts. It's only, early December, and we're already hearing that organisations are going to cancel celebrations for January 26. This is going to be happening at 200 bars and pubs around Australia, and the organisation that controls them seems to be owned by a private equity mob out of Hong Kong. Craig Laundy runs the Laundy Hotel Group. They're not the ones boycotting Australia Day. Craig, what do you make of the decision?
I just don't know why they want to get in there, get politically involved with people's lives. We celebrate our Indigenous heritage 365 days a year. You don't have to go far to see it. Why would we be turning our back on Australia Day?
What do you reckon the motivation is for something like this?
Attempting to be politically correct, I think, could be the only answer, and I just don't get it. I don't know why you would.
They're always trying to do that. They changed our fucking anthem a few years back as well. Oh, did they? Damn. Did not. Oh, here was another Aussie exchange. Was this Aussie? I think this was. Yeah, it was. Yeah.
As I said, coal is not unreliable, whether we like it or not. It's not. Can you at least admit that with a new coal-fired power station, you would have reliable generation?
Well, what I'm admitting is that the...
Why can't you say yes? I'm not asking you to embrace it. I'm just asking you to state a statement of fact.
Because I'll listen to the engineers and the economists who say that today the cheapest way to provide reliable energy in the Australian context is a combination of wind, solar, backed up by storage and firming. We should listen to the experts, Michael. I'd encourage you to have a meeting with Daniel Westerman and the experts, the engineers and the economists, rather than the ideologues. And that's the best way forward for Australia.
How do you know I'm meeting with ideologues? Who are these ideologues I'm meeting with?
Well, I'm not suggesting that, Michael.
Yes, you just did it then.
That the engineers and the economists are the best place to provide advice on these. I'll listen to the experts, and I'd encourage other people to do likewise.
Can you admit, leaving all of the ideology aside, from both of us, that a new coal-fired power station would be a reliable source of electricity?
What I'd admit
yes?
is that AEMO have set out the best path forward for the Australian energy system. I'm not going to play hypotheticals on your program here.
That's not a hypothetical question. That's a statement of fact.
It is a hypothetical.
Can you admit tomorrow's Saturday?
We have engineers that run the energy system, that provide advice on the best way forward, and we should listen to those experts rather than indulge in hypotheticals.
As I said.
Yeah. Indigenous, I don't think I hear the problem there. Stop Animals coming after the Aussies. Stop Animals wants to cancel fucking Australia Day. What else was there? Thought I had some other Aussie stuff here. Cash Patel.
I never believed that the CIA killed Kennedy.
No. You're talking to a guy that's read the entire JFK file.
You've seen all the secret stuff?
I've seen all of that, and I've seen the 7 pages of the 9/11 report. I've seen it all.
You don't say that to people that you can't tell what you saw. I never believed that.
I'm indigenous, and I think Australia Day is Bonza. Bonza, mate. What's Bonza mean?
You wrote that black gun ownership is definitely a political act. White gun ownership is generally taken as an inalienable right. Explain that to me.
Absolutely. We tend to look at the Bill of Rights. I almost said the 10 Commandments.
They're getting closer and closer, yeah.
And, we treat those Bill of Rights as inalienable, but the further you get from a white, heterosexual, cisgender man, the more you have to fight for those rights, and the more you are considered sort of an anomaly when you choose to avail yourself of those rights. And I'm not the kind of person who's going to wrap myself in the Second Amendment. I think that no one should be able to own a gun, and if they want to come take it, feel free. But that said, as long as the right is there, I think there are many black gun owners who say, why not? And some people are shooting enthusiasts. Some people are concerned with self-defense and home protection. And there's room for all of that. We contain multitudes.
I love in your essay you reminded all of us that the Second Amendment is 27 words.
It is, which is shocking given how often people talk about it.
It's kind of like, hey guys, we need a little more clarity here.
You would think. Could we be a little more specific? In 1787, when they were writing those 27 words, a musket took a long time to load.
Yeah.
And it only shot one bullet at a time. I don't think that the founding fathers could have begun to imagine what that gun would become.
You wrote that black gun ownership is definitely...
Okay, well, keep her far away from the DOJ, please. I don't know who that is, but just keep her far away from the DOJ. Bonds is really good, yeah. My kids are half Maori. Got some questions about that. Yeah. Samped. Oh, Samped. I like it. Samped. That's a good one. We can go Samped. Yeah. What was there?
I was a 7th grade civics teacher, government teacher, and she is an elementary school teacher.
What year did we get our independence?
Oh my God. Something. We're teachers.
I actually don't teach what's in our curriculum. I'm teaching children social studies that's not in our curriculum, teaching them things about how to be an anti-racist. I taught them about protesting. I taught them about Black Lives Matter. I taught them about Black Lives Matter.
I see teaching as a very political act. When we are engaging with our students, whether it's on social justice issues or multicultural issues or culturally relevant teaching, I see that as foundational to all learning.
We got to stop this crap. We got to dismantle all of it. That's where the Department of Education has to just be shut the F down. And all of this has to stop. So listen, at least we can go into the next 4 years positive, knowing that it's going to stop. Support our show by supporting.
I do have there's a bunch of woke, quote unquote woke stuff. This was one.
You know what they
This was another woke thing. This was about the whole Jaguar commercial.
say, if you're in a hole, stop digging. Well, following their disastrous new advertising campaign, it would seem the management of car giant Jaguar have dug a hole so deep they can almost see the Earth's crust. This once great automotive brand saw 100 years of design and engineering excellence evaporate in 30 seconds with this. An advert featuring a diverse cast of actors dressed as Teletubbies getting out of an elevator and prancing around like a bunch of art school rejects. Viewers are told to live vivid. A numpty in a red suit makes a mess with a paintbrush. Then someone who's either a man or a woman or God knows what takes out a massive hammer, presumably a metaphor for what they've done to the brand. And the final messaging of the ad is copy nothing. Well, no one is going to copy that debacle because this campaign will likely see this iconic British company go bust in a matter of weeks. Now, you could argue that all publicity is good publicity. The advert has been watched 150 million times. You could argue that everyone is talking about it. Well, they are, but not in a good way. I mean, everyone's talking about Prince Andrew, Rachel Reeves and P. Diddy, aren't they? But that's not necessarily a good thing either. The ad is such a complete disaster, it doesn't even feature a car. You know what they say? If you're in a hole, stop digging. Well, following their disastrous new advertising campaign, it would seem the management of car giant Jaguar have dug a hole so deep they can almost see the Earth's crust. This once great automotive brand saw 100 years of design and engineering excellence evaporate in 30 seconds.
Here's some stuff coming out of Canada. That's pretty fucking explicit, man. Holy shit. That is pretty explicit. What was this?
A Chinese-owned hospitality group.
Yeah, this was the other Aussie Day thing, yeah.
Ironically named Australian Venue Co., which manages approximately 200 pubs and bars across our great country, has made the decision to eliminate upcoming Australia Day celebrations in all their venues. The woke World Economic Forum and Chinese Communist Party-linked globalist corporation asserts that our national holiday brings sadness and hurt to many of its patrons and staff, and for that reason, they will no longer observe it. So if you're anything like me and prefer not to give your hard-earned cash, your Australian dollars, to a communist company that doesn't respect Australia, go now to saveaustraliaday.com, sign and share the petition, and get yourself a copy of the full list of venues to avoid from now on. saveaustraliaday.com.
Uh-oh. Cancel culture. Cancel culture. They're coming for him. This, I don't know if Conrad's still here, but I think this will be right up Conrad's. This will definitely be right up Conrad's alley for sure.
I'm very much looking forward to tackling these barriers. I'm looking forward to speaking out on my personal experiences and making people really aware of the things that minority teachers go through and how much more we need to be supported, because we need more minority teachers. Children need representation in the classrooms. They need teachers that understand them, understand their needs, understand who they are as a person without trying to erase that or finding it a burden to cater for those identities.
A joke, man. This is the problem. The mental gymnastics you have to do if you're on the left. They will tell you she's an Irish person, but at the same time they'll say they need more people like her. What do you mean? More Irish people, is it? Or do you mean more Africans because she isn't Irish? And then when you say you need more Africans, what are you saying? You need more African teachers to cater for the more Africans we're importing. I can come out and say people like to be surrounded by those that are similar to them. And when I say this, they're like, how dare you as a white man, you can't have that opinion. But when someone from a different place, whether it be an Indian, African, where there are millions of them, come over, it's like, yes, that is your right. Let's bring over loads of people that look, sound, and think like you. All while they deny that same right to the Irish people in their own home and call them racist for having that opinion.
Yeah. That was for you, Conrad. Shout out. I've seen this clip a bunch of times. It popped up in my algo again. I figured I'd save it just to ruffle some feathers out there. We'll see. Well, I don't know if it's going to ruffle any feathers. We'll see.
Are you going to introduce yourselves, or do I have to do it for you?
I'm Bethany. I'm a triracial cisgendered girl fag.
I identify as pansexual, and my pronoun is she.
Okay. Hi, Emerson. Gender fluid, hetero-romantic, demisexual mutt, and redhead. My pronoun is Z.
Hey, I'm Rabbit, genderqueer, tax attorney. I identify as Jennifer Aniston. Just kidding. Vember.
DX. Chinese Mexican agender intersex AFAB. My pronoun is they.
Okay. All right, is it okay if I ask a few questions?
Better than to assume you know the answers. Are you going to introduce yourself?
That's a hell of an intro. That is a hell of an introduction to sitting down for some brunch. Holy shit. Yeah. What do you think of that, Samt? What do you think? I think that was from Shameless. I forget what show that was from. How to deal with the wokies.
You're hurting me! You're hurting me! Ow! Ow! Ow!
That is some propaganda right there. What else we got?
Excuse me, ma'am. Quick question for you. You think it's okay to date a man for money?
100%. I think if your man doesn't have money, you should leave him.
So why wouldn't you date a broke guy?
Because he's broke. I need to be able to go out to dinner. I need my nails done, my hair. I mean, like, we need stuff.
I mean, but I think that if he treats you right and he's got, like, a plan.
Maybe if he has a plan to make money, but, like, if he just plans on being poor and living off me, like, I'm pre-med. I don't need some poor-ass man leeching off me.
So if you met a guy and...
Poor? I wouldn't meet a guy that was poor. I wouldn't meet a poor man. I only meet rich men.
So you don't think that puts you in a gold digger category?
100%, I think it puts me in a gold digger category, but I think if you're pretty enough, it doesn't matter.
And you think the men watching this would agree?
100%.
That you're worth the
100%.
the wanting that man to spend and spoil?
Yep, 100%. Because, like, why am I gonna, like, spend all my money on a man? I'm a surgeon.
Excuse me, ma'am. Quick question for you.
I mean, first of all, if any of them were to say something like that, it should have been her friend, because her friend was fucking way hotter. But that was a lot. Long way to go, pre-med. Just enrolled this semester. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oh, look at this. There he is. Can't bruise the cruise. What do you got for us, Ted?
But I think Kash Patel is a very strong nominee. I think the entire slate of cabinet nominees President Trump has put forward is very strong. I believe every one of these cabinet nominees is going to be confirmed by the Senate. I think Kash Patel is going to be confirmed by the Senate. You look at his background. He has a serious professional background. He was a prosecutor. He was a public defender. He was a senior intelligence staffer on Capitol Hill. He was a senior intelligence staffer in the White House. He was the chief of staff of the Department of Defense. He was the deputy director of national intelligence. And I got to say, all of the weeping and gnashing of teeth, all of the people pulling their hair out are exactly the people who are dismayed about having a real reformer come into the FBI and clean out the corrupted partisans who sadly have burrowed into senior career positions at the FBI. The FBI and the Department of Justice are two institutions incredibly important to the rule of law in the United States. I revere both. And one of the most tragic consequences of 4 years of Joe Biden and Kamala Harris is both DOJ and the FBI have been politicized and weaponized. And I think Kash Patel is a very strong nominee to take on the partisan corruption in the FBI. But I think Kash Patel is a very...
Hit the follow. Yeah, thank you, Salt. I appreciate that. I mean, please, you're under no obligation to shield the... to shield kick, but if you want to, by all means, go ahead. I do appreciate that. What else was there?
Check out this map. It shows all the documented terror attacks since 9/11, and one thing really stands out. There is one solitary country in the heart of Europe with not a single red dot, not one terror attack in the last 20 odd years, and that country is Poland, my homeland. All I have to say is, what better advert than to come visit Poland or to come and live here than the fact that it's one of the most peaceful places on earth. Check out this map. It shows all the
Interesting. What was this? The cult doesn't have 77 million people. It's called a revolution. It calls a few thousand with blue hair and pronouns. Oh, man. What was this?
The Hamas video release of Idan Alexander. I know the administration regards it as a cruel, propagandistic maneuver, but do you detect anything tactical at all in the timing of the release of this video?
As far as this video, it is a cruel reminder of the barbarity and the brutality of Hamas, holding so many innocent people hostage, including Americans, including Idan. We were in touch with Idan's family yesterday. I'll be talking to the families of all of the American hostages, including Idan's family, this week. And I do think that Hamas is feeling the pressure. They're feeling the pressure because one of their main partners in crime here, Hezbollah, has now cut a ceasefire deal. And they thought that Hezbollah would be with them till the end. They're feeling the pressure.
Who was saying the other day that deal's not going to last? Somebody here was. What was this?
I don't think they got a single...
Oh, yeah. I've been seeing a lot of videos like this of home inspectors coming into a lot of the new homes that are built. I mean, you can even see it, like, right there. There's a lot of this kind of stuff with the new construction. I'm actually glad I haven't bought a house yet. I had a conversation with my family this weekend, and they were like, "You should just rent for a while. Like, you've been renting, you pay a great rate for where you live, and fucking just let the market do what it needs to do." But I think another piece of advice is, like, don't buy new construction, because I'm seeing a lot of this. I see a lot of, like, home inspectors seeing this kind of stuff. You can see, like, the gaps.
One on this side.
There's another one here.
Tight to the ridge.
So the doorbell is dinging, but not donging. See? Ding. No dong.
Yeah. I think I'll wait a while. And I won't buy anything new construction. For sure. Is there anything else?
Illegal immigrant gang members are terrorizing New York with very little risk of consequence. The Venezuelan gang Tren de Aragua has been recruiting people under the age of 18. And because of New York City laws on minors, the gang members have been robbing people at gunpoint, bragging about it on social media, and are doing so with very little legal risk. Now, arrests are being made in some cases. A few days ago, ICE's enforcement and removal operations arrested a Venezuelan citizen and suspected member of Tren de Aragua in New York City. However, the problem extends further than this. Tren de Aragua members include minors. The reason? Their age means they do not face real consequences, and it makes them a prime target for recruitment by the gangs. If they recruit anybody under the age of 18, rather than having to face normal trials, they go to family court. And for this, a lot of times they commit crimes without having to go to prison.
Breaking news now, and Sky News can reveal confirmation from the Home Office that 20,000 people have now crossed the channel in small boats since Labour came to power. It will put border security firmly in focus this week as the Prime Minister, Sir Keir Starmer, prepares to lay out what he's calling the government's next phase when it comes to small boat crossings. Let's bring in our political correspondent, Ali Fortescue. Ali, a couple of small dinghies reaching UK waters in the early hours of this morning. 122 people on board, pushing the figure over 20,000.
Yeah, that's right. As you say, we've been given these figures exclusively along with the Guardian newspaper. And as you say, they tell us that 2 small boats have arrived overnight, 122 people on board. So that brings the total number of people who've crossed the channel in small boats since the election in July to 20,110. That is obviously a significant milestone. I should say, I've spoken to a Labour source who has said that the weather has played a significant part in all of this. They've been measuring the weather since in the month after the 10th of October, and they say that the number of so-called red alert days, these are days where a channel crossing is likely or very likely, has been particularly high. So in 26 of those 31 days, they say that they were red days where the weather was good, so it meant that it was more likely that there would be channel crossings. I've also spoken to the Shadow Home Secretary, who says that the number has risen significantly since Labour have been in power. The number this year is higher than it was last year. Of course, Labour, I should say, have only been in charge since July, but the Shadow Home Secretary suggesting that their abandonment of the Rwanda plan to send people to be processed offshore in Rwanda was a mistake, and there is no longer the deterrent that is needed. So a significant moment today, but this is a government, I think, who is keen not to set specific targets when it comes to migration, but we could well see some other targets this week, as I've been reporting today.
Breaking news now, and Sky News can reveal...
Anything else? Senator Bernie Sanders announces he will work with President Trump to cap credit card interest rates at 10%. Look, this is... You know what this is called? This is called the Team of Rivals. That's what this is called. The Team of Rivals. I think that was I believe that was a Lincoln thing, who filled his cabinet with a team of rivals. This is what we're doing. Trump and Bernie working together? Okay. Two political opposites are working together to help Americans pay less on their credit cards. It's rare to see Sanders and Trump agree on anything, but when it comes to helping regular people with money problems, they found common ground. Interesting. Here we go. What else is there? The West Virginia, the West Virginia Snake Church.
That I was diagnosed with hepatitis C. There was no question about it. This old boy had it. About a week before I had to go in and start getting my treatment, the spirit fell down in this little place. Woo! When I went back, the doctor said, "You don't need no treatment, boy, because I can't find it in your system." Hey, there's healing power. Hey, it don't take God all day to do it. Right then, God can move. Broken ribs. I know he healed me.
So do you keep any anti-venom around here?
Yeah, his name is Cheese.
Channel 5 Live Worldwide, Hollywood and Vine.
Fuck the authority, Channel 5 News.
Channel 55. We don't fuck with...
The European mind cannot comprehend the breadth and depth of American Christianity. That is for sure. If I go to America, I want to go to one of those. Yeah. One of those shindigs. You'd have to really go to fucking you have to, I mean, that's in West Virginia. That kind of stuff definitely goes on in like Mississippi, Arkansas, fucking Kentucky maybe. You would have to go to certain states to see that kind of thing. That's not happening in like New York or California. There's only a certain few states where that kind of thing is actually happening. I don't know if Anoka's still around, but I think he would like this one. This guy, I think he turned everything in his company into like a 4-week work week.
So you said you have 4-day work weeks.
Yep.
How does that work? Because I've tried.
I work at 8 to 5:30 with a working lunch.
And are you guys just closed on Fridays?
Yep.
That's it?
Yep.
So closed on Fridays.
I tried the staggered stuff and it's too big of a hassle.
It's such a pain in the ass.
So that's why I didn't do it. I just finally went to hell with it. You get 52 long weekends a year. If you need a vacation, because I don't do paid time off, you're already getting 52 days a year off, right? Yeah. You want another, no. You're getting 52 days long weekends. And so if you want to take a vacation, then you owe me some Fridays. So let's say you need 4 days to go on a trip, like a Monday through Friday. We're going to work a 4-day week. You take those 4 days off, then you work the next 4 Fridays. And then we're good.
So then your office is open on Fridays?
Well, we don't unlock the door, right?
Okay.
So people don't think we're here, but they answer phones and handle emails and work their tasks, do their follow-ups. So it's a slower day for them, but it's still productive. But I make them come in and, yeah, that's how I do it.
So you said you have 4 days.
That'd be cool. I mean, I enjoy having paid time off. I enjoy putting some PTO on the schedule, but that could be cool. Is there anything else here? God, why is Kash Patel so fucking... Why is he so intense? All of his pictures look like this, man.
When I was an extremist, Islamist, fundamentalist, I would only vote left.
Why is that?
I saw them as very stupid. I would fear the conservatives because they come with principle, not someone they can brainwash. But the left, I know they have no values and no principles to begin with. When I was in...
Oh, man. Anything else here? Anything else? Do I have anybody in the military? I don't think so. This video's hilarious, but it's only hilarious if you've been in the military before. I've had jobs with roster days off. You could work them for time and a half, and also add them to your yearly holidays. Okay.
I'm very emotional. I think that I feel the obligation. I feel frustrated, honestly, with myself because I spent so much time over the last couple of weeks just focusing on the half that I hate right now, like the half of the country that I despise. And I'm frustrated about that because you don't get understanding through frustration and hate. And I think that what I feel guilty about is knowing that there's an obligation to a whole other half, you know, of the country, and feeling like there has to be a conversation, you know, a come to Jesus, as they say, with so many people because we are really not on the same page. And I am at a loss at this point for how to get there. And so I think you guys know I'm fiercely competitive over all kinds of ridiculous things. But what I really don't like to do is I don't mind saying I don't know. I don't mind admitting I don't know. I hate not knowing for an extended period of time and feeling like the overwhelm of I don't know where to turn to find the answer, right? Like, I don't even know if at this point people will be honest about their reasons for voting for the other side, or if they'll be honest about who they really voted for, because they probably know us or have seen us and wouldn't feel comfortable telling us the truth. So where do you go to solve an I don't know when you're not even confident that people will be honest with you? I'm very emotional.
I do wonder if there's, well, I wonder how many people secretly voted for Trump. They'll say all the right things out in public, but the moment they step into the booth, it's like looking to the side, like Trump. I am curious about that. Is there anything else here? Oh, Michael Malice, yeah.
The easiest way for your enemies to win is if they convince you simply not to fight. So much of what shapes our world and what we regard as truthful and valuable and what freedom is today is a result of what had happened to the people of Eastern Europe in the 20th century. Millions of people were trapped for decades in countries where human life meant nothing. They lived in constant terror from morning until night in countries where there was no law or any rights of any kind. Even in the darkest moments, there were still those incidents that gave people some modicum of hope that if things could not be good, they could certainly be better. Utopias don't exist, but progress does, and so do victories by good over evil. Thousands of lives were saved because strong men with guns defied their orders and chose peace over force. People far weaker and worse positioned than us have overcome institutions that were far more powerful and far more entrenched for far longer. The foes of liberty are many and they are powerful, but they are not particularly impressive. They are men and women far closer to snakes than they are to gods. They can, will, and have been defeated many, many times. So the next time someone tells you that the victory of good over evil, the victory of freedom over tyranny is ridiculous or naive, remind them of the story of the rise and fall of the Soviet Union.
I met him a bunch of times at some parties with my friends in Austin. He's a super nice guy. Doesn't drink, only drinks Diet Coke, but still pretty nice guy. This one's old, but it's always funny.
Spot there, did I make you look embarrassed? What the hell are you doing? If you're not going to act right around here, be part of the family. You want to make a scene during Thanksgiving? Yeah, really? I do, because if you don't want to be part of the family, then get out. You're not part of the family the way you act.
Oh, boy.
I'm not part of the family? No. You don't act right, you're not part of the family.
Oh, my God.
Oh, you threw a turkey at me? Don't blow up.
Oh, my Lord.
And you're filming? God! I'm so done! What's the matter? No! I'm done! I'm done! I'm done! And you, I hope you got your great Thanksgiving video! What a great family this is! Spot there, did I make you look embarrassed?
This video's old. Yeah, I know. It's an oldie but goodie. It's staged? Yeah. Yeah, it's funny, though. What's this?
Well, I wanted to bring...
They followed the money, and look what they found. $50 million in unaudited U.S. taxpayer money in 1 month alone went to a pro-terrorist group disguised as a climate change organization.
Well, I wanted to bring to everybody's attention something that doesn't get much attention, and you've heard the term follow the money. So I looked up where did follow the money. I thought it was from a Tom Cruise movie, but it wasn't. It was from Watergate. And follow the money is what they did in Watergate, and we saw what happened. So my young staffer, who's very bright, and I see him over there, Adam Pack, followed the money. And the money is from the so-called Inflation Reduction Act. So in the name of green and environmental justice, there's over $40 billion that are going to be granted out through the EPA. So, with this great research that was done, what was discovered that in December, the EPA granted $50 million to an organization called Climate Justice Alliance. So we went to the website of Climate Justice Alliance. This is what we found on the website, that our taxpayer dollars are going to organizations such as this. This, at the bottom, is a picture of the bulldozer that went through the fence when Hamas attacked Israel on October the 7th. They have a rendering on their website. It says decolonize Palestine, and it has a picture of that same bulldozer going through that fence. If you dig deeper, they want to defund the police, defund the military, either them or their affiliates want to have very radical, drastic initiatives that I think are anti-American. And they're certainly anti-Israel and anti-Semitic. So the Biden administration doesn't seem to care. $50 million in December. Who knows how much more in the future, and other like groups, because there are other associated groups with this group. There's no inspector general for EPA to follow the money because they don't care. Because all they care about is the mission, the climate mission, no matter what the radical ideas that are associated with the groups. So then you could ask yourself, is this group really going to be funding climate, cleaning up the water and cleaning up the soil and cleaning up the air? Or are they going to be funding things like the protests they had in Hart just several weeks ago, where several of them were arrested? So follow the money. We're going to be doing that in the Environment and Public Works Committee. That's where the derivation of this was. And I find it rather startling to me that the EPA is not doing, and the administration are not doing any better research as to where our American taxpayer dollars are going.
Oh no, the smoking gun, anti-American. Oh no, oh they don't like the Zionists. Oh, cry tears. Oh man, not enough. Donate more. The brave Idlib rebels. This was concerning. A video surfaced showing Trump and new Attorney General Pam Bondi discussing effectively giving the government the right to take your firearms away if they deem you a threat without due process. Is this right? I saw this and I was like,
We've been rewriting it, and we are going to bring in something called the Gun Violence Restraining Order. So if someone is civilly committed, typically you can hold them for up to 72 hours, but people are getting out within 24 hours, the majority of them. So what we want to do is let law enforcement come in and take the guns.
Good.
They're a danger to themselves.
Which you can't
or
do
others.
right now.
Well, because without being adjudicated. So because they're a danger to themselves.
You want them to take the guns and
when they are
not go through 6 months of legal trials and everything.
Exactly. But we also have to give the mentally ill the due process in which they deserve, President. So what we're doing is they're going to be able to take the guns when they're taken into custody or into the hospital. And then when they're released within 24 hours or 72 hours later, typically it's 24 hours, but law enforcement will have 72 hours to determine whether they should give those guns back, or they can go to a judge and say, Your Honor, please keep these guns. We feel this person is still a danger to himself or others, whether
So
they're
this
in or
would
out
not
of
have
custody.
worked the way it's currently constituted. This would not have worked with Cruz as it's currently constituted.
As it's currently written.
So you're going to make changes?
We're going to make changes, and when we've been rewriting it, and we are going to bring in something called the Gun Violence Restraining Order.
This would give government authorities, or even random people the ability to deem you a threat, even when you're not, just to disarm you without due process and only returning your firearms after due process, which then would be more of a privilege than an actual right. Second Amendment advocates are showing concern over the heavy stance of the Donald Trump and Pam Bondi on, quote, red flag law, which they both heavily endorse. Not gonna lie, not good. Not good. Need to know more. Yeah. No, sir, I don't like it. That's from Ren and Stimpy. I don't know if anybody knows Ren and Stimpy from back in the day, but it was a horse character that was like, oh, yeah, no, sir, I don't like it. This is weird. This one right here is weird. So this is a video of, it says Neon Clips. So Neon is like some random fucking IRL streamer or whatever. And I don't see Neon in this clip, but it's a clip of this girl, or actually, I'm pretty sure it's a woman. Like you could tell she's definitely older when she turns around and faces the camera, but she's obviously dressed in a very not older kind of way. And she's going around to like those towns where they put fucking sex offenders in and asking for like Halloween candy or some shit. And in my mind, I'm thinking, why? Why are you doing this? Like, what? I don't even know what it proves.
Hello. Trick or treat.
Hello.
Trick or treat.
I ain't got no treats.
Oh, you don't have candy for Halloween?
No.
Oh, shit. Do people trick or treat here?
No.
Why?
Nobody does.
Nobody knows?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I guess I'm the first trick or treater.
Nobody's trick or treating.
You don't have a lollipop or anything?
Nothing.
Because I'm not allowed to trick or treat on Halloween.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Have a good day.
You too.
Why do they all? What?
Nobody's allowed to trick or treat in here.
Why?
Because this is a bunch of these people are registered sex offenders.
They're what?
Registered sex offenders. They're not allowed to have.
A register? What's
You
that?
can't even be in the park.
Really?
Yeah.
My uncle lives like in one of the trailers all the way in the back, though.
Well, still shouldn't be in the park unless you go to his place.
Okay, I'll just go see my uncle and then see if he'll just give me some candy.
Okay.
Okay, well, thank you for letting me know.
Okay, you're welcome.
Thanks. Hey, guys, he was transparent. That's good. Hello.
I mean, I don't know what it's supposed to be. I guess it's not supposed to prove anything. Maybe they're just like fucking farming for clips and bait and fucking views or whatever. But what the fuck, man? It's dumb. Yeah, exactly. I mean, we're reaching new lows in terms of IRL content. I don't know if you guys have ever like followed or seen all of the Fousey stuff. But man, Fousey's been on a fucking journey for the past year, and he got committed. He got Baker Acted, and then he came out of the Baker Act and fucking was living a pretty rehabilitated type of life, but his content was like just boring. So I guess he just decided to get back on the content train recently and has been going nuts. Absolutely fucking nuts, doing crazy shit again. And it just reminds me, like, all these IRL streamers are just constantly searching for the next fucking viral clip or whatever, and they'll do anything, including go into a fucking sex offender neighborhood dressed as a fucking underage girl, go asking for Halloween candy. Fucking ridiculous, man.
You've seen Alex Jones for years tell you fluoride and tell you about Jeffrey Epstein and tell you about the New World Order and fission fusion and artificial black holes and strangeless and superconducting super colliders and other systems like cyclotrons. But you've ignored that because it's just all background. But now that I have llamas, now that I have the secret weapon, this is amazing. Here you go, my sweetie. Poco, which one's the really... Poco's the big one. Poco seems like, can we get a close-up of Poco's face for TV viewers? Poco looks like it's kind of in master control over here. Is this just Poco? Poco, how you doing? Come on here, sweetie. Can I give you a cookie? Can I give you a cookie? Oh, come on. You want one of these. There's no fluoride in this. They don't want a brain damage use. The government didn't put that in there. Come on. You want this? You don't trust? A cookie. Why do you think they're tripling and quadrupling down on hoaxes? What do you think their end game is? Because it's only... You've seen Alex Jones for years tell you fluoride and tell you...
What the fuck, man? Oh, this was like some kind of cartoon that like equated white people to mosquitoes. Yeah. What was this?
A video was shown to teachers comparing white people to mosquitoes. Watch this.
And getting bit by mosquitoes every day.
Can I touch your hair?
Multiple times a day.
So pretty. Can I touch it, please? Can I please?
Is annoying. And makes you want to go ballistic on those mosquitoes, which seems like a huge overreaction to people who only get bit every once in a while.
It's just a mosquito bite. Who cares? Just another angry black woman.
Of course, beyond just being annoying, some mosquitoes carry truly threatening diseases that can mess up your life for years.
Astrophysics? Maybe you should try less challenging, Major.
Ow, my dreams.
And other mosquitoes carry strains that can even kill you.
He looked like he was up to trouble, okay? I felt threatened.
So next time you think someone's overreacting, just remember, some people experience mosquito bites all the time.
You're all so exotic. Wow.
A video was shown to teachers comparing white people to mosquitoes.
Yo, is that Tiger Girl? I think that's Tiger Girl, right? Hawk Blocker. How you doing? What's going on, Tiger? How you doing? We're just chilling. I'm just going through some random content here. What was this?
President Trump's comments last evening are an opportunity for us to say to Canadians that we absolutely share the Americans' concern around the integrity of the border, the security of the border. In fact, this is work that we have been doing jointly with the United States for decades. We think it's absolutely appropriate for Canadians to decide who comes into Canada and for Americans to decide who enters the United States of America. This is work that is done on a daily basis between the RCMP, the FBI, alcohol, tobacco.
Keep the Americans out. Yeah. Are you Canadian, Samped? Are you Canadian? Cool, chill vibes, always welcome. Yeah, I'm not gonna be on too much longer. I got work in the morning, but excuse me, I got work in the morning, so just kind of winding down here. Nah, U.S. Okay, gotcha. What else was there? Ilhan Omar blasts Harris 2024 campaign recording a huge misstep. Congresswoman Ilhan Omar said Harris's decision to campaign with Liz Cheney, a name, quote, synonymous with war, cost her support on the left. I guess it did. I don't think it did. I just think it didn't help. I don't know how much it hurt her. It definitely gave, right-wing PACs and media the kind of talking points they needed, but I don't know how much of an effect Liz Cheney actually even had. What else is there? Anything else? Oh, I think this was another Aussie thing.
It's disgraceful. It's disgusting. And I don't know how you're going to justify it to every Australian out there watching, because I hope you're watching what Senator Hanson's doing.
This should be referred to a committee to be investigated if she is eligible to stand this place. It's not to the High Court. We're not going to the High Court. I'm not doing that. It needs to be sent to an inquiry to be investigated properly and thoroughly, because the documentation is not good enough.
It's absolutely outrageous that you're going to come to this place to suspend standing orders when we've got an agenda full of important things that Australians want us to do. Senator Hanson has worn the burqa in this place. Maybe it's time that she pack her burqa and go to Afghanistan and talk to the Taliban about this. Because clearly, when the Labor Party put me up as a candidate, they did their homework. And here it is. Here's the advice, Senator Hanson. Do you want to see it for yourself? Because no, you're in absolute denial. All that Senator Hanson does in this place is spread hatred, spread division, the racism and comments and quotes that you've made in the past.
Senator Hanson.
I want to withdraw that racism.
I will withdraw so I can
Now-
proceed. Senator Hanson's quote, I challenge anyone to tell me one thing that I've said that is racist. And here I begin. There's a few. There's so many we could be here all day. She has said, I believe we're in danger of being swamped by Asians. She said Aboriginality would no longer exist under her party's policies. We're bringing in people from South Africa at the moment. There's a huge amount coming into Australia who have disease. They've got AIDS. If that is not racist, what is it? Oh, it's not racist. Oh, somebody bring the dictionary because Senator Hanson does not know the definition of racism. It's disgraceful. It's disgusting.
Is that like your... So this is like your... Aussie politics is at least interesting. Yeah, what's up, Onion? Onion. The Onion. How you doing? She was Australia first before the Yanks had America first. Pauline. Okay, yes, that's the... Yeah.
Finally, Mars has accepted my sacrifices and unleashes me.
Yo, Birdman. Thank you for the follow. Welcome to the Legion. Birdman. Leave the guns in the bushes.
Finally, Mars has accepted my sacrifices and unleashes me.
Uh-oh. Unvaccinated subhuman. Thank you for the follow. Welcome to the Legion. How old is your account? Let's see here. Let's see. Let's see, Birdman. 2016. All right, Birdman's okay. Unvaccinated subhuman. 2021. Okay, you guys are good. We're on the lookout for people that created accounts, 17 minutes ago. So you guys are good. So is this like your guys' Ilhan Omar, Rashida Tlaib, Senator Payman? Birdman, I'm a streamer. Nice, very cool. Or was? Okay. Yeah, no. There's a certain person floating around that's causing some chaos in the community, so we're on the lookout for that person. I retired. Yeah, hey, it happens, man. That's why I do not take this shit so seriously. For me, this is just like a fun thing I do on the side. I don't care about, like, having fucking, 30,000, subscribers and 40,000 followers. I don't care about any of that stuff. I just do this just to sign on for a couple hours and talk to people. Is it Landon? No. It's a person, and I'm not going to say their name. I'm not going to. You'll find out. Trust me, if you hang around long enough, believe me, you'll. I just followed. Oh, was that one of you? Is it unvaccinated subhuman, or which one were you? Tiger Girl. I was a speedrunner. It was legit work. What did you speedrun? I Loves Me a good Link to the Past speedrun. Link to the Past speedruns are really fun, and I've always been super curious about Halo speedruns, but that's about it. I think that's the most that I've really. Last game was Shining Force. Okay, cool. Yeah, I mean the only speedruns that I ever really watch, I watch a ton of Link to the Past. So that's like the Zelda that came out for Super Nintendo back in like 1991, like 30 years ago. Link to the Past and some Halo runs, Wow, 445 speedrun. Well, I have no context to know if that's good or not, but I think that any speedrun's a good speedrun. Not like the Asians with their punch-ups, but it gets fiery and there's plenty of hilarious banter. I do. That's why I follow all the Aussie pages, because there's a lot of good back and forth that happens. Yeah, they get right into it over here. Yeah. You have a SNES world record? Nice, very cool. Very cool. That is definitely a badge of honor. I'm saying it's 5 hours. It's awful. Can't move for 5 hours. Yeah, yeah, exactly. That's the thing about speedrunning. It's like, okay, I think I got everything I need. I went to the bathroom.
Finally, Mars has accepted my sacrifices and unleashes me.
Misinformation police. With an account a couple years old. Okay. All right. Well, those all qualify for being in the range of acceptable. So, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the Legion. I have a tiny bladder. Yeah. That's the one thing that people don't that people don't give enough credit to speedrunners for. Is like, it's just, you know, you're locked in. That's the definition of fucking locked in. If you're speedrunning, you're locked in. I can only imagine speedruns that go 8-9 hours. I mean, you know, maybe there's some rules about taking breaks for games that speedrun that long, or game modes within certain speedruns that go that long, but that's the definition of locked in, man. Sitting there for 5 hours. There was Ed Wardenary. Let me see.
Finally, Mars has accepted my sacrifices and unleashes me.
What is up with all these, What is up with all these follows from very similar sounding accounts? Disinformation police. 2023. I don't know. I'm getting skeptical now. I'm thinking that maybe some of these might be some he who shall not be named accounts, even though they're older. Like Disinformation Police is 2023, Misinformation Police 2022, Unvaccinated Some Human 2021. These are either like really legacy he who shall not be named burner accounts, or they're real accounts. So I don't know. You guys have to. I'll let the public decide. If he's out there, though, just know I have fucking more mods now. Okay, so that we will find you and we will fucking send you. We will send you to the fucking gulag. You're not at any time you can get up and piss? Okay, gotcha. Gotcha. 24-hour speed runs, gotta pee during the cutscenes. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's when you're playing like some Final Fantasy VII, and you know you have like a minute 30. You got a minute 30 cutscene. Out of there. See you later. Actually, let me do this. On record. 7 years ago. 2 years ago. This is the game that I enjoy playing this just because the randomizers are just really fun.
Finally, Mars has accepted my sacrifices and unleashes me.
There's got to be some kind of psyop going. These have to be he who shall not be named burner accounts. Ray Epps. 2022, man. These are like legacy he who shall not be named burner accounts. They have to be. Like, they sound like they should be okay because they're like an appropriate age of oldness in terms of accounts. But it's just super suspicious that all these word or name accounts have been following me, like, just, back to back. But I don't. So Birdman, if you're looking for something to speedrun, check this out. This is definitely really fun. I don't speedrun it because I'm just not. I'm not good enough at it. I do play the randomizer. The randomizer is great. The randomizer is super fun for this game. But the speedrunning community. The speedrunning community is really robust. This is a game to speedrun if you really want to compete with people, because there's a bunch of people playing this game.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I got a little lucky. That's the second 601 I had in a row. I mean, it's pretty much dead.
So, yeah. Link to the Past, if you're ever interested. I watched the rando tourneys for Zelda. Oh, okay, nice. Yeah. Might be the most popular speedrun. Yeah, I think it is. It's definitely up there. I haven't caught a rando tourney in a while, but I do enjoy them. And I really love the randomizer, in fact. So I have the SNES 9X emulator on my phone. And the thing that I like about Link to the Past is that you can import all those like custom soundtracks from other games. So I put in...
Finally, Mars has accepted my sacrifices and unleashes me.
Okay, we're under assault. We must be under assault because this is just too much, man. This is just too much. We got a high alert. We're at DEFCON 1 right now, I would say. DEFCON 1. Do you have iPhone? No, I have Android. I have a Galaxy. But what I did before I went away for Thanksgiving is just download a randomized Link to the Past, and then I just downloaded it onto my phone, and I also downloaded the folder of the soundtrack that I love, which is Xenogears. I don't know if anybody knows Xenogears out there. It was an original PS1 RPG from back in the day. Soundtrack, all right, and I play Link to the Past randomized with that soundtrack, and I played it on the plane, and it was just a great way to just kill some time. Super fun. I don't think you can put EMU on iPhone without jailbreak. No. Well, that's the thing. That's why I don't have iPhone. I don't like all the fucking rules of iPhone. I think an iPhone is like a great piece of technology, and it's probably very useful for certain things. But I don't have any Apple products, and I don't like the whole. I think you get like a lot of trade-offs with iPhones, and I'd rather have something that I can like kind of customize myself, and the Android seems to be that way. So RPG nerd, I know them all. Yeah, so I have the Xenogears MSU, and on the phone. Well, I have a bunch of MSUs on my computer, but I uploaded the Xenogears one because that's my favorite. Then downloaded it on my phone. Then downloaded a randomized seed for Link to the Past, and then fucking just played that on the plane, and it was fucking chef's kiss. It was awesome. And what is up with this shit, dude? Guy who created Xenogears. Okay, this is the real test. Guy who created Xenogears. March 2022. Yeah, we're under assault. We need to be on DEFCON 1. We gotta be on DEFCON 1 right now. This is definitely Bimmy. Bimmy is in full effect right now. You don't buy Apple, you just rent. Yeah, exactly. I play FF7 music all the time. I love FF7 music. Yeah, love FF7 soundtrack. You know what's also a banger soundtrack? Final Fantasy 11. Specifically the piano collections. The piano collections from Final Fantasy 11 are absolutely amazing. But I'm a huge video game soundtrack nerd. I love it. What is up with all these accounts? These must be all like Bimmy burner accounts. I'm surprised because they all have like legacy dates. It's like 2022. You know, this is how you know he doesn't have any life. That he has to fucking bother people. April 3rd, 2022. February 24, 2022. March 24, 2022. October 25th, 2023. July 24, 2022. Unvaccinated subhuman. August 5th, 2021. Yeah. Yeah, he's on a tear right now. Unless you guys think I'm crazy and that's not him, but I'm pretty sure that's him. Nerds don't have beers to their nipples. Okay. I bought a piano 5 years ago, taught myself just to play FF music. Oh, yeah. No, yeah. Oh, yeah. I love it. I love all the piano collections are great, but specifically the best piano collection out there is Final Fantasy XI. Really, really good. I think my favorite OST is probably Chrono Trigger. I think that's probably, it's just too good. Chrono Trigger, I think I could definitively say is my favorite OST, but well, maybe actually no, sorry. My favorite RPG OST. I think my favorite OST ever is probably Halo. I don't think that's PPG. It might not be, but it's just too weird. It's too weird. I mean, I've gotten 6 follows from 6 different accounts, very custom names. All of them are years old accounts. And I don't know, maybe I'm just getting like fucking... Maybe I should not have tweeted that I'm fucking streaming right now, because... Actually, let me see. Let me look at that tweet and see. Let me look at that tweet and see if anything pops up. See if there was any, like, reach. Yeah, it's only had 4 views, so I don't think the tweet did anything. I mean, it's even to the YouTube, although the YouTube probably links to the Twitch. So I don't think this tweet did anything. It's just too weird, you know. Is the Xenogears one old? Xenogears is very old. That's PS1. That is a long time ago. I doubt PPG has ever heard of Xenogears. No, I don't think so either. But PPG could be just lurking right now. And hearing what I'm saying, and then Googling Xenogears, and then Google tells him how to spell Xenogears, and then just takes an old account of his, and then fucking, you know, just changes the name of it real quick. Don't underestimate him. Look, I'm not saying he's dumb. He's not dumb. Okay. He's not a dumb guy. Okay. I'm not saying he's like, you know, fucking Einstein or anything, but he's not dumb, you know. But this level of, you know, getting 6 follows within a span of 15 minutes, all from names that are very similar, is just too weird, you know. And they're not even chatting. They're not even chatting. I don't see any of them chatting. Any of these people. So for me, I'm in DEFCON 1 high alert, you know. He might not be dumb, but I don't think he knows how to time travel. No, he just has to Google. He just has to Google. Yeah, but if the account is years old, then that wouldn't work. Maybe you flipped an algo on a Twitch. I don't think so. I don't know. Interesting, because accounts require phone numbers now. Also, he is quite dumb. Salty's allowed to say that. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Unvaccinated subhuman is also not a PPG type name. It isn't, unless he's trying to, like, you know, troll or impersonate. Aerith's theme from Final Fantasy VII is by far my favorite song. No, not from Final Fantasy. I mean, Aerith's theme's great, but let me see. Oh, wait, no. What was it? Obvious? I think it was Obvious. Oh, Melancholy. That's what it was.
Finally, Mars has accepted my sacrifices and unleashes me.
Cams for the MC? I mean, you know, what am I supposed to think from all these follows? What am I supposed to think? So who was it? It was Birdman. So I don't know if you've ever seen this channel called TPR. But TPR does really, really, really good renditions of RPG music. Oh, this is great. Oh, I do love this. In Search of the Man in Black.
Finally, Mars has accepted my sacrifices and unleashes me.
Yeah, I don't know what's up with this. I'm just Joe Biden's diaper. I mean, this has to be him. Who else would do this shit? I mean, this is such a weird night, you know? I don't have any drama with any streamers at all except for him. I don't have any drama with any streamers except for him, and fucking we had the whole fucking Discord thing happen earlier, and now this shit's happening. I don't think it's him, but well, then then I'm at a loss here, man. Shang, I don't know if you were here earlier, but somebody bombarded my Discord with fucking just horrible pictures. I had to fucking go in there and private all the channels and delete everything. But I don't, unless somebody out there is just like targeting me for whatever reason, then it would be so random if it was anybody else other than him. Just a random person. Yeah, I was here. Okay, gotcha. Might be a name glitch. Follow and follow. Change name. Follow and follow. Change name. Maybe. Okay. No, it's definitely somebody that's watching. Whoever it is that's watching, the next name that you do to follow me should be PPG _ is _ horrible. Do that. That's your next follow name, okay? PPG _ is _ horrible. That's going to be your next name. So let's do that. How often can you change names on Twitch? So I think it's like you can change it once a month. But all these accounts are different. They're different. Like this one is August 16, 2021 for Joe Biden's diaper. Camps for the Unvaccinated is November 2021. Guy who created Xenogears 2022. They're all different. These are all different accounts because they're just saying like they're from different times, you know. But anyways, TPR, if you want to check out some really good renditions, Birdman. If you want to check out some really good renditions, this guy TPR right here up at the top, he does everything. He did Chrono Trigger, he did all the Final Fantasies. It's just really good stuff. If the account is from 2022, then he couldn't have done what you're describing. Okay.
Finally, Mars has accepted my sacrifices and unleashes me.
Yeah. Non-binary. That's actually a banger name. That's a banger name. That is a banger. Well, 11 follows in one night is pretty good. So even from all these fucking accounts, I'm not going to complain for the follows, but this is just too weird, you know? So I can change my name to Fonyon, probably. I think it's like once a month. Once you do change your name, there's like a cooldown period. I think it might be a month. I created another account to just like log in and like do testing with OBS and stuff. And I tried to change that name like the other day, and it let me, and I think I created it like a month ago. So I think the cooldown is like a month. Might be one bloke with multiple accounts. Tell him to sign them up to Kick and get those numbers up. Yeah. Well, we'll see. Kick will grow over time. I'm not worried about it. I'm not worried about growing. You know, I just want people to know where to find me if I'm not on Twitch, in case Amazon puts this fucking thing on the shelf at some point. You know. If it's from 2022, then it's downfall. It's PPG. That's true. It's true, but at the same time, like, you know, there's just been fucking too much drama with that guy recently for me to not think that was him. You know, he's not streaming tonight. I checked. Let's see. Let me check again. Make sure. Yeah, he's not streaming tonight, so he definitely has the time, and he is always up during this time. So there's just some things are lining up for me to think that it is him. I mean, you know, him not streaming tonight. I don't know what his schedule usually is, but I mean, he streams like reliably 6 days a week, and he always streams at this time. He would definitely be on right now, but he's not. Plus all the shit that happened over the weekend. Plus all the shit that just happened in Discord, you know, it just makes me think. It just, like, to me, it's just like I wouldn't be surprised if it was him, and he's just doing this because he has no fucking life. You know, let's put it this way: what do we know about him? What do we definitely know about him? What do we definitely know about PBG? He definitely has burner accounts. We know that. He creates accounts every day. Every single day that guy has accounts. He creates accounts so he can be anonymous in other people's chats and say crazy fucking shit until he gets banned, and then he just jumps on another one. He's probably been doing this for fucking years. I'm willing to go down this fucking X-Files level rabbit hole of believing that it's him, because I know how fucking depraved he is. Just can't remember 100% if the person I saw chatting before, who I think had that name, was that person. If unvaccinated subhuman is who I think, they're almost certainly not PPG unless he has put on a very elaborate LARP. Well, Shang, I don't think you're giving him enough credit. Trust me, I don't think you're giving it. Look, I don't want to talk to him anymore. Fucking, you know, I am totally. I won't lose any sleep over fucking not having conversations with him at all anymore. But I will give credit where credit's due, and he has planned out his internet presence for a very long time, for sure. He's been learning how to exist in these spaces while also being the most...
Finally, Mars has accepted my sacrifices and unleashes me.
What is this? Antifa General. Antifa General is from May 18th, 2022. I mean, I'm probably going to wake up and all these follows are going to be gone. You know, it'll go back to like 351 or whatever it was. Which is fine. I don't care. But this is just... Yo, what's up, 60? How you doing? Some people just want to watch the world burn. Yeah, exactly. Intensive raids by Assad's forces aircraft. Airstrike on Baghdad Square in the center of Aleppo an hour ago. Yeah, no shit's popping off over there. Syria, Iraq, and all that. What about me? I was trying to fucking sign off, but I got like, I'm getting like hate followed by somebody, or chat thinks it's not fucking this one person who I think it is, and I'm thinking it probably is. He's the only person. It's either one random person with a bunch of accounts, several random people with several accounts, or it's one specific person who knows exactly. I mean, who the fuck is out there like who has nothing to do right now except fucking hate follow me and fucking drop all this fucking horrible shit in my Discord? You know, it's just too much of a coincidence. He's not on right now. He's not on, which he normally would be. He normally would be, especially at this time, even though it's fucking 4 a.m. here in Texas. It's 2 a.m. where he's at. So he's normally on. He's not on right now. And he's got nothing to do because he's not on. You know, so he's got all the time in the world to do this kind of shit. I'm here for the hate. Yeah. Yeah, well, Birdman, you caught me on a...
Finally, Mars has accepted my sacrifices and unleashes me.
I mean, it's just getting ridiculous, you know? Sounds like a Twitch problem. I don't know. I think it's a PPG problem. I'm telling you, you guys do not know him as good as I do. He's got all the time in the world and nothing to do. He would do shit like this. What branch of the military were you in? I was Army. I was active duty Army from 2017 to 2021. You were Army? Oh, cool. What was your MOS? Cool. Yeah, what was your MOS? The white helmets, remember them? Are starting to pump the propaganda. Yeah, I saw some Instagram reels of the white helmets coming out of that area. 68 Alpha, biomedical equipment technician. Okay. Nice. Oh, so, okay. Yeah, 68. Man, everybody on Twitch is a 68. Ranger and Rogues is 68. He was a whiskey. Grumple wasn't a medic. Grumple was comms, but he was Marine. Okay. Went to school at Shepherd. Okay. Yeah, I was a 12 November horizontal construction engineer. Did basic and AIT at the Great Fort Leonard Wood in Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri. And then I got stationed at Fort Hood down here in Texas. 68 is the Twitch Brigade. 68 is an Army designation for a certain class of jobs that people in the Army hold. So 68 Whiskey is like your traditional medic. 68 Alpha is what Birdman was. I was at 12 November. 12 is the designation for engineers. So you had like 12 Bravo was combat engineer. 12 Charlie was like I forget their name, but they did like the bridges.
Finally, Mars has accepted my sacrifices and unleashes me.
Oh my god. 68 medical, yeah, exactly. Yeah, I was a 12 series. 12 November was horizontal construction. 12 Bravo was combat engineer. Charlie was the guys that do the bridges. You know, those vehicles that unfold in the water and become bridges. And then you had like Yankees and stuff like that. All the vertical guys that were like plumbers and electricians and carpenters and things like that. But yeah, I was an engineer. Yeah, I don't know what's happening, 60. It's just, you know, somebody out there has got nothing going on right now. You went to Jackson? Okay, yeah, relaxing Jackson. I was at Fort Leonard Wood for like damn near a year. I went to basic. I got injured. went through the whole cycle, didn't graduate. Then I went to a rehab unit on Fort Leonard Wood, learned how to walk again, went back to my unit, did basic training again, finished. And then I went to AIT at Fort Leonard Wood, did that for a few months. And then I left Leonard Wood hoping to never, ever see that place ever again. And then sure enough, a few months later, my unit sent me back there to do fucking urban search and rescue training. So it was fucking... All right, Dean. AIT is 14 months? Holy shit. That is long. No. Our AIT was maybe... It was probably like 2 or 3 months. But we also had to wait for... We had to wait to get a class. I think we waited like a month and a half until we could build out a platoon for our class. But our AIT was only a couple months long, and then we were out of there. 14 months, though. 14 months of AIT? That's insane, dude. That's crazy. That's a quarter of your contract. A quarter of your contract in AIT? Holy shit, man. 12 blocks, 20 days for a block? Okay. That's a lot. That is a lot, man. I was just going to say, that's like a 6-year contract kind of thing. Yeah, for sure. Okay, yeah. That would definitely not be like a typical 4-year contract. Yeah. Let's see. This was my job, basically.
My name is Private First Class Rosario Nickerson. I'm a 12 November from Council Bluffs, Iowa. We are in what's called a light fighting unit. So we go out and we use our big machines, the Deuce, the D6 Dozer, the iHemi, and
Finally,
we create fight.
Mars has accepted my sacrifices and unleashes me.
Positions as well as building berms for some of our lighter units such as the combat engineers, the infantrymen, the armored units. A lot of what we do is also route clearance. So we work hand in hand with the 12 Bravos, which is combat engineer. So what we will do is they will bring out their MICLIX, which is it fires off like a round or a big string of C4 that can detonate mines. And so once those mines are detonated, we go in with the 12 Bravos. We use our big machines, push all that stuff out of the way. We're usually the first ones in to, clear the route for everybody else. The Deuce, it's a tracked motorized vehicle, and so it has a giant blade on it. It's kind of like a bulldozer, but a smaller version of it, and it's just used for making berms and digging fighting positions. So the Dozer, kind of similar to the Deuce, just
That's a fucking D7 Dozer. That's what we had. Fucking super fun driving all this shit.
A scaled up version of it, used for heavy earth moving operations. And then the iHemi, which is similar to what some people might know as a backhoe. So it's got a big front bucket that you can scoop a bunch of dirt, and then you can flip the seat around, and it's got a backhoe on it where you can just kind of dig some dirt out as well. When I first enlisted in the Army, I wanted to be a 12 Yankee geospatial analyst, but unfortunately that job was unavailable,
Dozer,
so I ended up doing 12 November. And
I was gonna say D6. No, that was a D7. There's some units had a D9. Most units had at least. I guess it depends. Because I was in an ECC, which is an engineer construction company, but a lot of 12 Novembers get sent to infantry units and become like BEB, where they're just support. So they'll have the dump trucks, and they'll have one backhoe. They might have one D6 or something like that. They, when you're a 12 November and you get sent to these infantry units, you're just kind of on the side, and they call you once in a while when they need you. Otherwise, you're just driving trucks all day, transporting equipment. But when you're in an ECC, which I was, you get to drive all these things, including the road, I think it was a 120M, the road grader, dump truck, scraper, the D7 Dozer, the iHemi, which you saw there, which had the backhoe, and then if you're smart, they'll send you to crane school where you learn how to do all the fucking mobile crane stuff. And I went to crane school, but it was during COVID, so they actually brought the crane school to Fort Hood, and and I was one of two. Me and my buddy were the only people that got into that school, and it was really fun. It's really people. I don't know if you've ever been in a crane before, but craning is super fun, but it's dangerous, man. Super dangerous. What do you think the Iraqi army is amassing near Syrian border, planning to invade, or going to help a certain faction? I don't know, man. I don't know. There are people in this chat that know that much better than I do. Much better than I do. Your entire childhood playing in the sandbox came to life. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, basically. It's just, our job was just to break shit and build shit. They call us in when you need something either out of your way or being put in your way, or put for use. What are you doing? Are you dozing now? No. Now I'm like a tech consultant. I work for a company that does consultancy work with the government, and our company does projects with every aspect of the government. We work with the DOJ, Department of State, NASA, DOD, the post office, you name it. If there's a part of the government that needs contractor work, my company does that. So no, I am not doing this stuff anymore. I do miss it, but I also like being in the air conditioning. And
I wouldn't have it any other way. It's one of the best jobs out there. I love being able to come to work every day and just look at these awesome, trucks and stuff like that. It's just something that growing up as a kid, you always dream of doing, and now I actually get to, do it every day. I thought, what do I like to do? I like to be outside. I like to work with my hands. I want to learn a trade. Discover more at goarmy.com.
It's 68 Alpha.
Modern Army medicine relies on sophisticated, cutting-edge equipment to provide diagnostic and life-saving services to soldiers and family members stationed around the world.
1, 2, 3.
Maintaining, repairing, and calibrating this equipment is the responsibility of the biomedical equipment specialist. This career field requires individuals who are interested in working with electronic equipment, possess good mathematical and problem-solving skills, and an ability to precisely follow detailed procedures and instructions.
What piqued my interest in this job is the fact that this equipment saves people's lives, and doctors depend on it on a day-to-day basis. My favorite piece of equipment so far is probably the ESU, the electrical surgical unit. That is something doctors and surgeons use to help cauterize wounds and even cut people open using just electricity and radio frequencies.
I was studying to become a biomedical equipment tech on the civilian side, so I knew...
Thanks, Tiger Girl. I'll see you later. Have a good one. Thanks for popping in.
A little bit starting and coming in here, it reinforced what I knew, what I learned prior to coming to the Army. It's much more hands-on. The training is much more in-depth than what I was receiving as a civilian.
Working in healthcare technology, you will be responsible for the service and maintenance of medical equipment using mechanical, hydraulic, pneumatic, electronic, digital, optical, and radiological principles, along with the assembly and installation of new equipment. You may be called upon to calculate the power and space requirements for medical equipment installations. You may also be tasked with preparing and submitting medical equipment status reports and maintenance record keeping.
We only teach the basics here of troubleshooting and repairing medical equipment. Whenever they get out into the field, they're going to be challenged on a daily basis from dynamic equipment to...
How often would you guys go out in the field?
Complex situations of how they can better assist those healthcare providers in diagnosing and treating patients.
After successfully completing Army basic combat training,
Never? Oh, man. Every 6 months? Okay, gotcha.
You will attend 44 weeks of advanced individual training at Fort Sam Houston.
44 weeks? What the fuck, man?
Texas. There, you will learn how to use diagnostic and calibrating tools to serve.
This is from 4 years ago, so maybe it's maybe they've upped it since then. But yeah, 44 weeks is ridiculous. Can you imagine being in TRADOC? Because you got 10 weeks for basic, and then 44 weeks for fucking biomedical. So 54 weeks. That's a whole year. That's a whole year in TRADOC, dude. Shepard moved to Sam. Okay. Yeah. Well, I'm in Houston. Sorry, no, Houston. I'm in San Antonio. So Fort Sam Houston is like right. Actually, Fort Sam Houston's like maybe not even 10 minutes away from me. It had phases. Okay, gotcha. Still though, a year of TRADOC. Fucking A, man. Although, well, is Sam Houston TRADOC? TRADOC's definitely like Benning, Leonard Wood, Jackson, and what's the place in Oklahoma where they do like artillery and everything?
Service, maintain, troubleshoot, and repair a variety of sophisticated medical equipment. Following your successful completion of all required training, you will be eligible for assignments at military hospitals located around the world.
Oh, yeah, look. Where was it? They said, there it was. No. Carl R. Darnell.
Training.
Right there at Fort Hood, Texas. Definitely been there a couple times. Definitely been there. Oh, man. I was in school for almost 2.5 years after OCS before I got to Fleet Unit. Okay, damn. Yeah, it's different, though, man. You're fucking flying shit around, dude. That's different. My MOS was only, 2.5 months? Maybe 3 months tops? It was like a crash course in the kind of shit we had to do. But Birdman, Nader was a Marine. Nader was a Marine pilot. Yeah, exactly. Get the fuck out, sir.
You will be eligible for assignments at military hospitals located around the world or deployed as a member of a field hospital. As a soldier, you will also have the opportunity to further your military career through leadership training and acquire additional civilian education through specialized training, college courses, and certifications. Your military experience may help you in your transition from the military to the civilian workforce, where you may pursue a career with medical equipment manufacturers, hospitals, clinics, or research institutions.
There's plenty of employment out there and a great job opportunity for them. And not only just as a biomedical equipment technician, but they can further their training and continue to get certifications and college that will help them get into management roles that will make them much more prominent in their career.
Maintaining the Army's medical equipment through experience and progress, the biomedical equipment specialist ensures high-quality health care through medical equipment readiness.
Yep. Saying.
Let's get this going and let's talk about the job duties of a horizontal construction engineer in the United States Army. The primary duties of a 12 November in the United States Army is going to include the operation of heavy equipment such as bulldozers, road graders, and more. Soldiers in this MOS will also operate military construction equipment to prepare sites for construction purposes. This is an MOS that is available for active duty National Guard as well as reserves. An individual is going to have either a high school diploma or a GED, as well as take the ASVAB and get a qualifying AFQT score for the United States Army.
I remember when I took the ASVAB and I got like a 92, or 93. And I remember when I finished, I got up from my computer and I walked up to the lady at the front, and she was like, "Your name?" And I was like, "Legate," whatever. And she saw my score and she was like, "What are you trying to go do?" And I was like, I don't know, I'm probably just infantry, maybe jump out of planes, doing some crazy shit. And she was like, well, I'm just telling you right now, I don't normally see scores like this. So you can basically do anything with the score you got. So, but then I went back to my recruiter was like, yeah, you definitely like this is a fucking amazing score, but you know, you have like fucking credit issues and fucking things that are going to hold you back from getting like a top secret clearance or whatever. So nothing like legal or anything. It's just like I owed tax money and I had like some credit card debt and stuff like that. And they were just like, yeah, no. But this job, when she told me about this job, she was like, I'm telling you, she said, I have a 12 November contract here with a $25,000 bonus. And I was like, oh, wow, that sounds great. And she's like, yeah, that is great. You don't come across bonuses like this very often. So I'm just telling you right now, I know you have plans to do a lot of things, but I know I don't see bonuses like this very often. I'm telling you right now, just fucking take this. Just take it. Okay. And I was like, oh, let me think about it. And then I called her back. I was like, all right, let's do it. Fuck it.
Now, when an individual is looking to get the MOS of a 12 November, that is going to require them to at least get a 90 in the general maintenance section of the ASVAB. Now, that score from the general maintenance section of the ASVAB will come from 4 subjects. Those subjects will include general science, auto and shop, mathematics knowledge, and electronics information. The training to become a 12 November in the United States Army is going to include the typical 10 weeks of basic training, but from there an individual will have to go on to 9 weeks of AIT at Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri. Now, in my experience of seeing individuals with this MOS, they're usually in some kind of engineer unit. I will see these people, sometimes on post working these heavy equipment, the dozers, the graders and stuff, maybe clearing parking lots for them to gravel it or even get it paved, or even clearing an area where the Corps of Engineers is going to be, working some construction to maybe build a building for training, for some kind of, building that is going to be needed on post. These individuals would also be like out in Iraq too. They would be maybe clearing some areas where we were going to set up some tents, or where they were going to lay down some gravel and maybe get some kind of like connexes to lay down to turn into like, basically our bedrooms. They were called chews. So these individuals are doing multiple jobs, working with these dozers, these dump trucks, these graders, all sorts of things for multiple purposes. Typically for construction purposes, like is in the job, for clearing out an area to build, for another MOS to come in and do the actual construction piece on that site. Now, of course, you can't do that every single day. I'm sure that keeps you somewhat busy, but other days will probably involve these individuals being in the motor pool, working with their dozers, their graders, whatever piece of equipment it is.
I was in the motor pool every fucking day, man. Every day of my life I was in the motor pool. Bro, some MOSs don't even go to the, they'll go to the motor pool, like on motor pool Mondays, just to PMCS their Humvee real quick, and then they're back, and then they're doing whatever for the rest of the week. But I was in the motor pool every fucking day, man. I got a perfect score. So did my brother. I was going to join the Air Force, but they didn't have a job guarantee. 1 year short, 2 years is basic, 5 years is commandant, 10 is best. Yeah. I was just, every hospital company wants me in Chicago. Yeah, I was just in Chicago. Well, I flew into Midway. My parents used to live in Chicago. They used to live in Buffalo Grove, and then they lived downtown. But now they moved to Indiana because they were just sick of the taxes and the crime and all that shit. But every time I go see them, I fly into Midway, and then they come pick me up. We played WoW at work? Okay. Nice. That would be nice. I was in the motor pool every fucking day, dude. Every day. Holy shit, there wasn't one day when there was not, unless I was on leave. The only time I was not in the motor pool was when I was on leave, basically. 10 feet from Buffalo? Okay, gotcha. So you're on the north side.
Is that they're kind of responsible for that section, that platoon, whatever it's broken down into. Probably working in the motor pool, doing general maintenance on those pieces of equipment, doing the PMCS, the preventive checks and maintenance on those pieces of equipment, and working in the motor pool with that equipment. Now, as far as transitioning from the military side to the civilian side with this MOS training, it can probably translate quite well to the construction world. So if you were someone who's interested in, getting the experience in the Army and then transitioning to construction, working heavy equipment like operating those bulldozers and graders and all that other stuff that the military uses in this MOS, you can probably transfer that quite well. It probably is very seamless, maybe some subtle differences, but for the most...
Let's see. No, this was This was the crane that I operated, basically. I did everything. I did the bulldozers, I did the road graders, I did the scrapers, dump trucks, backhoes. I did all that stuff. But if you're lucky, they'll send you to crane school, and this was the crane that I operated. It's crazy though. Like once you see the boom start getting lifted and they shoot the boom, it's like it's pretty scary when you're in the cockpit shooting that thing because you feel like you're gonna tip over the whole fucking time. The thing is, like, you'd be sitting right here, and when you're looking up as that boom is going out, you get like massive vertigo. Fucking, I feel like you want to puke. Like, it seems like a pretty calm piece of equipment, but once you pick up a load with the hook block and you start swinging it, it starts, like, all these sensors start to go off, and you have to be really mindful about how you're moving because you could hit power lines, you could hit a person, you could hit the project that you're working on. It's like you really gotta fucking be super sensitive with the controllers and everything. I'm the clumsiest person. I bleed almost every day. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Let me see here. All right, look, I would love to keep hanging out with you guys, but I gotta be at work in a couple hours, so doesn't look like anybody we know is on, so I'm gonna send you to my buddy. Super cool gamer guy. He's playing Black Ops 6 right now. Probably playing some zombies or something, hanging out. Yeah, he's playing zombies. So, nice talking. Yeah, come back. Come back on a normal night where I'm not getting fucking hate followed, and hate discorded by fucking people out there. But thank you, Salty, for everything. Thank you, Birdman. Thank you, Shang. Thank you, Anoka. Thank you, 60. Thank you, everybody that was hanging out. Appreciate it. Tiger Girl. Samped over in the Kick Chat. I'll try to be on tomorrow. I got a couple things due on Wednesday for school, so I got to see what kind of time I have, but I'll try to be on tomorrow. But yeah, my buddy's playing some zombies, so go enjoy that, and I will see you guys later. Peace.